ladies and gentlemen.
We ain't on yet. Oh, America.
America.
We on now.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm Dirty. Sitting across from me. Why are you like all up in your camera tonight?
I don't know, man.
Are you trying to look pretty or something?
I think the camera was trying to kiss me for a second.
Is that what it was?
Maybe so.
Sitting across from me is my compadre, partner in crime, the one and only Bearilla. I said it right this time. You gonna introduce yourself?
Yeah, man. It's your man Cortess, Damien.
And then sitting across from you.
Oh, it's my man Seabiscuit.
Somebody we haven't seen in a while. Seabiscuit.
He's been gone forever.
He
man.
has, hasn't he? Well, if you notice, look, we were talking, Damien. What do I have on today?
Oh, you got the shirt on.
The Dirty Cortez Show, sponsored by Seabiscuit.
C Club.
What is? Oh, C Club. C Club. That's right. That's right.
All right, man.
And
the actual name of it is C Club.
Right. The actual name.
And then I'm Seabiscuit.
Then that's C.
Well, if you notice, I'm minus something.
Yeah, he got the babyface Jones going on today.
Right? I do.
We back on. We in it now.
Yeah, we're good. I got it hooked up. There's the lovely Kenzie.
Kenzie saved us. She brought us to life.
No, I got it going through mine. So we'll just do it that way for now.
All right, man.
But so here we go. We broadcast live from the penalty box every Monday night.
Home of the Yellow Bats.
Home of the Yellow Bats.
With a Z.
With a Z? We were supposed to, though. We were supposed to start at 7, but we were having problems.
Yeah, technical difficulties.
Which is what else is new.
Yeah.
Right?
That's why we're the most
unprofessional
show.
But no, so I was I'm going for that. I've got that new job at work, right?
Oh yeah.
And I was sitting there and I was doing some training. And I guess the area manager thought I looked a little, as Seabiscuit and Kenzie likes to say. Well, how did you say it? What did you say? Unkempt. I said unkept.
Yes.
Which one is it, Damien? I will trust Damien.
I think how he's saying it.
Shut up.
I'm saying, man.
So, anyways, I look, I'm in training, right? So I need to think about tucking my shirt in.
Not anymore.
You got to if you want to do what I do now, I guess.
I still be doing what you do without a tuck shirt.
I don't know, but so what I did, so I shaved, and now look at me. You see my triple chins I got going.
Triple chin, babyface Jones, boy.
Babyface Jones. I was told I looked like a pedophile.
Creeper.
I was told you look like a pedophile.
I'm glad your truck isn't white.
That's what everybody keeps asking me. Where's your white van?
What is white van?
Hey, look, all he's missing is that little dog that he has all the time.
I have the dog. She's at home. Lindy Lou.
Hey, you want to pet my dog?
You want to play with my dog? My dog is missing. You want to help me, little boy?
This is a really serious subject we're laughing about.
Yeah, I know, right? We're making. Why are we doing that?
I don't know. We were talking about your face. Your face led us there.
That I look like a pedophile?
Well, there you go.
Is that what it is?
Oh, man. That thing was awful, man.
Yeah, right.
Oh, man.
So it's been another week.
Yeah, man.
In the life of Dirty and Cortess.
Yeah, man.
And Seabiscuit. Now look. This son bitch ain't been around for a while because he's getting a little, he's got a little something going on the side. So he has been around for a while. Now he's like,
man.
oh,
it's been a while, man. Right? It's been a while. Like, we changed locations and everything, bro.
Yeah. And then remember, though, when we came up here, we were talking about the video game.
Right.
And Injustice.
Right.
He's a big Injustice fan.
Seabiscuit was our go-to video game guy.
Right. So now, Kenzie's over here. We're talking about the Injustice. And he's wanting to get talking in on the Injustice. So should we get his opinion?
I'll listen to him.
All right. What's your opinion of Injustice there, Seabiscuit?
Okay, hold on. Well, you can just give me the pros and the cons, man. Pros and the cons, man. Let's go, man. What you got?
Pros is definitely going to be the gameplay, the mood, I just beat him, and now I'm getting the hold of it. Also, the tornado.
hate those. Me too. I'm not a fan of that. Yeah, yeah.
I do not hear either one of you two. Is your microphone on? Is it?
Is it?
Now it's on.
Oh, well, you're not hearing me?
No, I was hearing you, but the people weren't.
Oh,
All right, so go on about the new game system then.
So they didn't hear anything I just said?
No, they didn't hear anything you just said.
Dang it.
I know,
Okay.
right? It's terrible.
Injustice is great because well, it's not great for microtransactions. It's bad because of the microtransactions. It's great because pretty much everything else.
Right.
The cast is awesome. The voice actors are awesome. You have Robert Englund playing the voice of Scarecrow. Like, yeah.
Freddy Krueger.
Like the people that got to play the voice actors, things like that. You have Nolan North from there playing. He's in everything.
Are you on? Might be.
Hello, hello, hello.
There you are. Now I hear you. You gotta get up in there. There you go. There you go. All right, go on with your story.
Overall, I think that's a great game because of formatted things. I did get
How much you pay? How much you pay?
Gee, that's ridiculous. No, he didn't get nothing with it, dude.
got the season pass.
Right.
One thing I noticed that first is that I like it. You feel like something that was owned because it was made by yeah, which is cool. But I think hello, hello.
Okay. There you go. Now I see you. You got the microphone too far away.
No, it's not. It's right here. Fuck your mouth.
Okay. Jesus.
I mean,
Violence today.
yeah.
Bullet this one.
Okay, cool.
Oh yeah, from the other one.
They just pick in
sometimes
copy and paste.
Wonder Woman
Okay.
That good.
I liked it. Hey, look. I don't know. Hey, look. I'm just gonna shoot the shit.
I said it doesn't really matter who she's with.
Yeah. She looks like a horse. Why do you say that?
But she has a horse face. She has a horse face. Right. She looks like
She looked like Mr. Ed. Oh my god.
Is it? Yeah. I think it's horrible.
Okay, the man can have anything he wants. An ugly woman. Maybe he just wants an ugly woman.
No, I think he was sucking into it.
Why would you think he was sucking into
This is fucking really funny, man. He got any woman he wants in the world. He chooses to do it.
Clooney was nipple Batman. Yeah, Clooney was nipple Batman.
Speaking of, I want to say, man, because he was saying, rest in peace to Adam West, bro.
Why? What happened to Adam West?
He fucking died.
Well, we know that.
Adam West was an actual chosen.
I agree. LA, I wish I kind of lived there because they had the bat signal in the sky after his death. Yeah.
Oh man.
Like that's legit.
Yeah. Hey, it's because of Adam West we got nipple Batman, man. So I think I
Oh
actually
my
appreciate
god,
you.
that is.
Hey,
I mean, it's partially because without Adam
Hey.
West, Batman, like who would have really known? Without who was it? Was it Cesar Romero?
yeah, man, I ain't gonna lie, man. Adam West was my first Batman, man. And then I bumped into Michael Keaton.
Adam West is my first Batman.
There's something seriously wrong with you guys.
What the fuck is wrong with us? And then he was even better on on Family Guy and all that other shit. Yeah. Hey, when he chased down the Noid, dude, that was everything. For the PC, like the Noid wasn't gonna get his pizza, man. He murdered the Noid, man. So what else has been going on in everybody's world? When does that shit start? I know, yeah, because I know the dude that created the show, like, there was a bunch of stuff with people saying, like, the show was supposed to be canceled and everything. Like, people were freaking out. And he had to come out and tell people that the show wasn't canceled. The last thing I heard that the creators were doing, last thing I knew was they were working with Marvel. Like, they were working with Marvel and Disney because they started working with the Doctor Strange stuff. That's how they came up with dimension jumping and all that other stuff. And that's supposed to go into Infinity War with them dealing with Thanos. I'm not familiar with the name. I think I have seen it. No, I don't think I have. Maybe, I'm not sure.
Acid while they're at work. It's like a 4 or 5 minute skit of them on acid at work, and the entire regular show is based off of that skit.
Wow.
Regular show is like my
regular
stuff.
show-
Now you can pull it up real quick.
I was saying,
You don't have to
when they
watch
were
it, but even when you look at what these characters in the skit, it's a cartoon, but in the skit, they look like. Watch.
Hey, regular show was my shit, man. Yeah.
Did Nick get canceled though?
Yeah. After they had the regular show movie, it was done, man. It was done. But that's
Mr. Pickles got canceled too.
And I think from what
I ain't like Mr. Pickles, man.
Mr. Pickles.
That shit creeped me the fuck out, man.
I know, that's why it was great.
That's why I can watch that shit.
My friend was sitting in my room
Keep going. Man, so man, I don't know about it.
You don't have to watch it right now, but look, see
Well,
how they kind of look like
crazy,
them?
I saw the funniest shit in the world the other day.
And then, like, during their
You have
acid
to
trip,
pull it
he
up,
turns into
so
a bird, and he
there's
turns into
this,
a little rodent. Like, in
this
the
group
middle of
called,
their
like,
acid
Super
trip,
Clips
they
or, like,
change
Super
into
Hits
them.
or something, like a channel on YouTube.
Right.
And a lot of people
And they
have
change into, like,
started
Gumball
to notice
Machine.
like the easiest way that they can get the president's attention.
What?
Like this, instead of on acid, and like when he goes to the other guy, he's a bird already. I'm pretty sure.
The former president of Mexico.
When they just keep
President
changing, he
Nixon.
turns into a bird at one point. It's really cute to watch.
He had
It's
a
funny.
like a 2, 3,
But it's
maybe even a
like
4-minute
yeah.
commercial talking directly to Donald Trump. Yeah, he had baby photos. He had all kind of things.
So we talking about politics now? Is that what we're doing?
No, because like I tell him how funny the shit was. Like the Mexican president was talking to Donald Trump and was telling him that he in his own words, we're not building the fucking wall.
Have you seen the price of avocados?
Ooh, I know.
No, since Trump became president, the price of avocados has gone up 5 times.
That's sad for the people who like avocados.
I'm allergic, so it doesn't really matter to me.
I don't like them shits then.
Like, I listen to my mom complain about it all the time. She's like, I can't spend $6 on an avocado. It's like, if you want an avocado, you better be paying that much because they're death in a green wrapper.
But it was funny though, because like he was like trying to be so nice and like so polite, like just speaking to Donald Trump and everything. He was like, so you would have spent $25 billion on a wall. He started talking about all these different things that you could pay for, which is very surprising. Like he said, you'd be able to pay for at least 250,000 people to go to school and pay for their tuition all the way through college and everything. For at least 2 decades, you'd be able to take care of like teachers' jobs, pensions, and stuff like that. For that amount of money, you can get rid of world hunger for like a year, like 2 to 3 years actually. You can give the whole world drinking water for a year.
Or you can give the whole world drinking water for life.
I don't know how much you can get for $25 billion.
For $25 billion, you could build wells in every you could pay enough people to build enough wells to functionally give everyone working water.
Yeah, and it was funny, man, because like he was like, so he was like, I did my research on it. He was like, I went into the dark web and looked up what we had to do with your wall and everything. And he said, I figured out that we'll still be able to get over your wall. He said, I have the schematics for it. And when he pulled it up, it was a hand drawing of a ladder. He said, if your wall is 18 feet tall, we just need a 20-foot ladder to get over your wall. So nobody really gives a fuck about your wall at all. Like, it was funny, man. You got to see it, man. Some people might not think that shit was funny, but
I think that, like,
he was fucking comical because he had so much confidence saying this shit.
You also have to realize, like, for me, like, I was apolitical last election. So I think anything on either side is hilarious.
Yeah.
Like, I have friends who are just totally anti-Trump. And I have friends who are totally for Trump. And then you have me, and I'm just sitting there in the middle just watching them bicker about it and laughing at all of it.
And you got to, man. But this is what we deal with. So, one thing I liked about the show last week was that the gentleman that we had joining us, I didn't get a chance to speak to the teacher.
Right,
He'll be up here.
He's coming up.
He's coming up here today.
Every Monday, give him a second.
Okay. Yeah. But I have to say, the one older guy, what was his name? Kurt. He stuck with me all week, man. Like he really did. Like I found because the conversation that we had, man, to know somebody that comes from that background, from those experiences, and to be raised a certain way, to have a certain viewpoint, and then to work and live and be partners with these same group of people that you've been told to have issues with, and to have your own narrative and perspective. Like he was very insightful, man, and it just goes to show you that certain things are taught and that people can't overcome things, man. So it was cool to have that conversation with him, man. Like it really was, man. That was like my highlight of the week.
Kurt, what's your highlight of the week?
I mean, yeah, man, because like you know me, man. I enjoy talking to people. I'm a people person, man. And when you having people explain, their stories and where they're coming from, man, you get to see a different side of the world that you've never seen before, even if it's just temporary. Perspectives is everything, man.
Did you so it was going around online, but did you see that article going on about the ex-Klan leader?
No.
That died?
No, not the one that died. The one that was starting to come out about how wrong the Klan was and things like that, like with all their viewpoints.
Well, you put the bikes down because they're not working tonight.
Oh shit.
Oh.
Well, we got that going, so we're good.
We're hovering around this camera.
Well, I guess the batteries are out, so it's making.
Does mine work still?
No, I turned
be
off.
plugged in.
I turned that off.
Okay, then.
So now we have to talk like this.
Black thing in front of my face.
No. Project your voice.
No, you talk normal. Now, what were you? Who were you talking about?
You were saying nothing.
So there was an article going on online about this ex-Klan leader who was basically talking out against the Klan and everything with it. Oh, I guess Damien's not.
You're good. Keep talking because you're on camera right now.
But basically, it was this guy he's hugely anti-Trump, hugely anti
Wait a
gay
second.
political.
Wait a second. Wait a second. Wait a second.
Yeah,
How can you be?
I don't. Hey,
How can you be part of the Klan?
he's not. He's ex-Klan.
How can you be ex-Klan and be not for Donald Trump?
Because he left them for a reason. I think he saw the error of his ways. I don't know. It's just an article. It could totally be false. I get your point, though.
The fake
I get
news,
your point.
Man.
Yeah, the fake news, CNN.
The fake news.
All right, go on.
I don't know.
I mean, but that's.
I mean, I'd always doubt the news every time I read it.
I don't believe none of it. I don't believe none of it now.
Well,
Like-
he was a Trump supporter.
No, I was not. I was on neither side of that.
Like he looked so disgusted.
Seabiscuit voted for Trump.
Hey man, I'll be honest, man. I ain't gonna lie, man.
I voted for legalization.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
No, I didn't, man. I ain't gonna lie, man. I haven't voted since like 2008, man. I
Oh
voted,
my God.
I voted one time. It was like
You're
fuck that,
un-American.
No, that's
Un-American.
I'm American because I don't vote.
Your
No,
vote
it's
doesn't mean
un-American.
anything.
Thank you.
Do what?
It don't,
And like
I be telling people
locally
that,
it does, but like on a higher scale, like presidency wise, like our vote doesn't mean anything.
Think about this.
Wait a second. What have I been saying? I've been saying that shit for years. That our vote don't count.
Yes, it does. But at the end of the day, these people still have their own final say so and their own view, and that's all what they go.
I've been saying that for years. All right, turn the mics on. I fixed them. I did. Finally, I fixed them.
He fixed them without touching.
Did you fix
No,
it?
I kept playing with it.
Did you fix
Three
it?
clowns were talking.
Did you fix it?
Do what?
Show me what you got.
Well, I can't hear. So
Is it new?
I don't know. All right, here. Okay. Damien takes us.
Yes. That's the last one.
What? Hold on.
Makes sense right behind the charm.
Moana is a great movie.
Hold on. Seabiscuit. Turn. I think it's Seabiscuit. I think it is. I think it's him. I think it's you.
You think you got short?
I do too. Talk, Damien.
Hello. He said testing.
Right. But I think it's him. I unplugged your mic. Damien, I still can't hear you at all.
Funny. I don't know, man. I'm like right here. It's damn near in my mouth.
I know it is.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that burned my ear. Talk again.
Talk
There
again.
you go.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
No, you don't have a microphone, so hold on. He doesn't have a microphone. He keeps going, am I good? I think the batteries are going dead on this.
Yeah.
Tighten it up. Tighten the bottom up. There we go.
When
That's
do you
better.
recharge these things?
I don't think I do. I think I just need to put new batteries in it.
Okay, then we know the problem.
We
now.
do, right?
Yeah, no, they have-
We know the problem. Put new batteries
See,
in there,
that's
dummy.
a conversation you missed, bro. We had remember that guy we had up here? He gave us the whole rundown on like
Yes.
the history of drugs. And
Yes, it was awesome.
legalization.
the history of how
Bro.
bad it can be with things.
Bro,
Hold, will you wait
Bro.
a second so I can get the
he
microphone
gave
here?
us all that shit. Like he was ready. He was prepared. Like he had full
Like-
statements. Like he was ready to walk up in front of people and do this shit for real. Like,
Like, he was like ready to debate
hey,
it.
yes, yes, yes. And you know what's crazy about listening to somebody talk about marijuana? You're high on marijuana and you're trying to understand where they're going. It's like, I'll be honest, man. I was on that day. I was
They've done that, you
yeah,
know
I
what
was
I'm saying?
like, yeah, when you gonna? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm like, you know, there's a lot of things I can disagree with this right now, but you're gonna blow those, and I'm like,
I was like, I could disagree with you on a lot of points, but I'm kind of wondering what those points are now. Like,
you're gonna kill my vibe. You're gonna kill my vibe, bro.
I'm vibing, bro. I'm vibing.
I'm vibing. You're gonna kill me, bro.
Listen, man. You can't be
But yeah, no,
I think he was a teacher too, wasn't it?
but I mean, you know,
Yeah. He didn't want to say
yeah,
that.
but I mean, you know, there are people in LA that go to jail for possession of 3 ounces for longer than someone that would hijack a plane.
yeah, man.
Like,
Yeah,
there's a guy named Angel in prison in California right now.
Come on, the one white man.
No, he's Mexican.
That's the name, Angel. There you go. No disrespect. Yeah, it is what it is.
I mean, probably I don't know if that's how you really pronounce it, but like his name's Angel, and he had a son that was born, and like he's never gonna see his son in his entire life because he's gonna be in prison until his son is 50. It's really simple. You legalize it and you put it in stores.
I mean, even if that's not the same though. You gotta think about that. Right? I've talked to a lot of older people. I grew up in St. Louis in a Ville. I know a lot of people who serve and do what they do, police officers, regular judges, whoever. And it'll take years and years to change like a lot. To the point now, I even got people,
You got the indicas, you got the sativas, you got the dro, you got the.
I got people who go back and forth like across state lines, who come back to like medicinal and all that other stuff like that. You see like these different grades and stuff, and it is kind of scary, bro, because
people can breed
they
strains.
manipulating. They manipulating these strands and got them doing all these different things. Like, but I think that's why a lot of people are scared to progress with it, because you have more people who are more into coming up with these different strands to get different.
Hold on. I don't think any of these mics are. No, I don't think the one I'm on.
Right.
Well, I mean, you got like Northern Lights, you got Golden Ghost.
Yeah, but see, that's what I'm saying with all those. Think about that, though. It's different from a typical person that's just a casual user compared to a person that's using it for the medical need. And I think a lot of these people who get into this business, they're looking at it was more I'm not saying there's not people doing it. You see it all the time, but it's the fact that it's more publicized as a socially cool thing,
I mean, I think the health benefits are way more beneficial than anything recreational. Don't get me wrong, recreational use would be awesome. But I mean, even if it's just medicinally legalized, I'll be okay with it. Even if it was just medicinally legalized, I'll be more okay with it, because my grandpa has Parkinson's, and it would help him out more than anything else he can take right now. September, Marlboro Green comes out. Tobacco knows how to do it. They just make products with weed in it. Yeah. They basically just make spliffs.
Yeah. So they gonna be mixing tobacco in together, basically go out there.
Have you on cigarettes and on weed? I mean,
just say it, man. He died from ride don't know shit when you can't spend it. Can't spend it.
Turn the mics off because they're not really working tonight. So.
Hey, what's that? What was that movie about the Marlboro Man?
Marlboro Man and Harley Davidson guy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a good ass movie, man. That was a good ass movie, man. You don't want to smoke cigarettes, man.
What? How does that make you want to smoke cigarettes?
Not want to smoke.
Huh?
He said not.
Not because the guy, like, they basically brought him this big ass suitcase of hush money, just so he wouldn't say nothing, but he was dying.
Oh, here goes the conspiracy again.
What conspiracy? That's what happened in the movie. He was dying from smoking cigarettes, And so he wouldn't say anything. They gave him the suitcase of money, so he wouldn't say anything.
But that doesn't mean anything.
I'll take a suitcase of money.
Yeah.
Money don't make my world spin, man. I chase the bag all the time, man. Don't get me wrong, I chase the bag all the time, but I respect what it does for me, but it doesn't hold any value in my world, man. It doesn't. Like, I'm not one of those people, like, I could be in a room full of billionaires, millionaires, whatever, and they couldn't make me feel little, man. Like,
Nope.
I'll be in there talking cash shit with the best of them. Like, you couldn't make me feel little, man. If anything, if you have to boast to me about your funds, you're not boasting anything else, are you? Not boasting much of anything else, are you? Like,
That's fair.
hey, come on now. Like,
I've been in a room with millionaires. It's an interesting situation.
Yeah. They like to feel themselves.
Are you gonna learn another beer?
Yes. See, I love Kenzie, man. Kenzie is nice, man.
She is very nice.
Dude, I've already had 3.
Yeah, this song is he's already put down 4.
Yeah, man. You were regular old wishing well.
I told him she just got a bucket.
We
But he didn't
can,
listen to me.
we can, man.
But the bucket would be more per beer than getting them by themselves.
Yeah, I didn't say that. Live at the penalty box.
There you go. We haven't done a penalty box play yet.
Hey, live at the penalty box.
It's a great
Sorry.
day.
Sorry.
Tuesday,
Totally disregard everything I just said.
Wednesday, Thursday, we have live wiffle ball.
Oh, yellow bats with a Z, man.
Yellow bats with a Z.
With the good buckets, man. With the good
With
buckets.
the good bucket prices.
And Seabiscuit about to get unsponsored.
Yeah. C-Club's about ready to go off the door. Gonna get us in trouble, Damien.
Oh, man. It's cool, man. I'm used to people blaming me for their problems, man.
Why?
I'm used to people.
What? Because you know what? Like, that's the one thing I like being around Dirty and everything. I find myself being like way more reserved when I'm around Dirty.
Why? Because I'm the one that's supposed to
Yeah, because he the one that really be going in. But outside of all this shit, I be on a whole nother level, man. Like, I found out I got a superpower, man.
Shut up. What? You got a superpower?
Yeah, man.
What is that?
It's his dreads.
Way of words, man. I got a way of words, man.
Way of words.
That's not a superpower.
Yes, it is.
How's that a superpower?
No, because anyone can have it.
Hey. It's
How's
a
that a
superpower.
How?
You know it's a super.
Explain how that's a superpower.
I'm always able to talk my way out of shit.
I think his superpower is like thinking.
I'm always able to talk my way into shit.
Oh, yeah.
I'm always.
Everyone can do the second one.
Well, talk themselves into it, but talking yourself out of it is a whole different thing.
Oh, yeah, no, I've been there, done that too.
Also, I can be very persuasive when I want to. And with the ladies, it's like a magic trick, man. Once you learn how to balance it out.
And you have a wedding ring on?
Even with a wedding ring on, it's still like a magic trick, man. Because look, I ain't trying to sit up here. I ain't trying to, run off with nobody lady or do no shit like that.
I know.
Look, man, all you gotta do is make people laugh, man. You make people laugh, you get away with the world, man.
100% agree with that.
I get away with murder making people laugh, man. And the fucked up part about it is that's what sucks, man. Because look, when I'm dead ass serious, they think it's the funniest shit in the world. But when I legitimately try to crack a joke, I get crickets, B. And I'm like, what the fuck?
I'm the same way.
I don't like how your mind working right now.
What?
That's how people
Real,
feel.
man.
Like, yeah, no, I totally
man,
get it.
It's like I can say some real shit and somebody be like, man, I don't know, man. I think you overthinking it. But I'd be like, fuck you. How am I overthinking it? Maybe
Why so violent?
maybe my brain waves is on another level and your shit ain't caught up yet.
Well, why is that?
Or maybe it's on another.
You spitting some Louis Farrakhan
I'm just spitting the real, man.
stuff here?
I don't know, man. I don't follow Louis Farrakhan, man. I ain't gonna say that on camera.
How do you
I don't want nobody to paint my house black.
What does that mean?
But no disrespect to Mr. Farrakhan.
Fuck Mr. Farrakhan. What's he gonna do to us?
Hey, bro. Hey, all right, cool.
What's he gonna do?
Hey, cool.
Who is that?
Minister Farrakhan.
Now, how do you not know who Mr. Farrakhan is?
You don't know who?
No, I don't really
He's the leader of-
I feel like you fucking with me.
Yeah, he's the
The leader of the Nation of Islam. Louis Farrakhan.
Dude.
He killed Martin. He killed Malcolm X.
What? Okay, now
There was no supposedly about it. He did.
It's still up in the air.
Suge Knight just threw out his wife as the killer of Tupac, so.
Well, who can really listen to Suge Knight, man?
Yeah, I mean, come on.
I mean, hey, I mean,
I'm convinced at this point. Like,
I'm convinced Tupac's still alive. No, I'm just
Have
kidding.
you
I'm
seen
not.
it yet? Did you see it?
I'm not
Nah.
going to see that bullshit.
You're not? Why?
I'm not gonna
What?
see that shit,
What?
man.
All eyes on me.
I'm not going to see that trash, man.
Oh,
Why?
That's trash, man.
the
Why is
new
it
one?
trash?
You know
New
why? Because I've been sitting up here. I've been an avid fan of Tupac my entire life.
Right?
He was
Amen.
like a hero. I looked up to him. He was actually a role model when I didn't have one.
You want to see the movie?
Which
No,
one?
I haven't.
All Eyes on Me.
And
Did you see it?
No, but a girlfriend of mine at work saw it and said it was awful.
See, and that's what I'm
Said it
saying.
belongs on Netflix.
Because when you
Belongs
even
on Netflix.
even his own family have been coming out going against this movie. Like I've been told the movie's just about him being on some hoodlum shit, him being like super sexual and violent type shit.
They didn't include like any of the videos that he ever incorporated into his that showed his life. They didn't. They tried to just basically take everything and make it completely
bad.
different. And
That's Scrub Girl talking, if anybody wants to know.
Scrub girl.
We're not going to say her real name.
No, but like she said though, that's true. Like what made me like Tupac, bro, was he was a humanitarian, bro.
Oh, yeah.
Like before everything else. He was authentic, and a lot of people only focus on the extra shit.
Dude, I did 3 reports on him in school.
And see, that's what's crazy, man. That's why now when I hear the news and I hear people talk about like these thugs and shit like that, they don't know where that shit came from. It was really an acronym, like thug life. The hate you give little infants fucks everyone. Like I'm pretty sure you know there's like laws. There's like 21 laws called the Thug Life laws, and they were some real shit that like I think if he was able to implement, a lot of like our neighborhoods and shit like that would have been completely different, bro. And when you say like Suge Knight, like his wife and shit like that, I think it was deeper than that.
Oh,
I think it was deeper than his wife. I
mean, Dre at one point.
don't
thought
want
it
to say
was-
like the CIA or no shit like that, but the minute he got up on stage and he got past the point of talking about music and all this, and he said, I want to run for president, and that I plan on running for president and having more people like me with me running for president, that's when they bumped him off. That's when they bumped him off, because I would have voted for Tupac, man. Even if I couldn't, I would have snuck in and found a way to get a ballot.
But it was definitely no Straight Outta Compton. That's all I'm saying.
But see,
No, that was a good movie.
I like Straight Outta Compton.
I can watch that movie
But-
daily.
And see, look, I watched it, but
Right.
after I watched it, like,
I love the music and I love who he was.
see, look, after I watched it like 2 or 3 times, I kind of got jaded a little bit. And
Which one?
watching Straight Outta Compton. And the reason why that was is because I didn't feel like they did easy justice, man.
They didn't do
Like,
easy.
My part I was waiting for was the real motherfucking G's to drop. And that never came, bro. And it made it seem like he was jealous of Dre.
I wonder though.
And I
if
didn't
there-
like that, bro.
I mean, there can't be a second one per se, but
Well, no, because they ended it with him dying.
they could have completely prolonged that, played more of the music, more of the everything, and made a second movie that was him passing away, and then
Before he passed
Like
away,
a
they
season.
could have went into the whole his discovering of Bone Thugs and Harmony
right.
and how they came about.
But that
They were
movie,
Speaking
but that
of which,
movie
they're-
wasn't about though. It was about NWA and the fallout that they
Right.
had and
Right.
the jealousy.
It's like
Right.
no Vaseline, you know what I'm saying?
in that movie.
But see, that's what
and
I'm
then
saying
gone
though.
on
You
to
can
that.
give
Well, yeah.
Dre
Yeah.
his moment of shine. You can
Like
give
50
Cube
Shades
his
of Grey.
moment of shine. But
You know, they didn't even talk about Ren though.
Well, yeah.
and that's what I'm saying. You got to think about it. DJ Yella, Red. They didn't talk about none of them. Like they didn't show them no kind of love at all in this shit.
They talked about Ren.
Well, no, because it was
Like,
about
3 times.
Cube. Hold on, it was about Cube, Dre, and Easy.
But who gives a fuck? It's about NWA, bro.
Which
No,
includes
yeah.
Yella and Ren.
That's what I'm saying. Like you wouldn't. No
It's
matter
like if there was a Wu-Tang movie and they didn't include every single
if
one.
they didn't include ODB and Method Man, you would be like, what the fuck? That's like
I've
having,
never liked the Wu-Tang Clan.
bro, bro,
Never.
bro. Hey, no, I gotta turn my back on you for a second.
Turn it
That's
because
not even cool.
You
Here's
here's
the
the
thing.
Wu-Tang Clan, B?
here's the thing.
Are you serious?
They were wannabe gangster rappers
Oh my god, man.
compared to what I
He
listen
scooped
to.
his chair away.
Oh no, look,
Then you
look,
guys can see that,
Look,
but he
man.
really scooped his chair
look,
away.
man. I can't let you do them like that.
No,
Oh,
it's
I can't.
Wu-Tang. Like
Because it's the truth.
It's not, because you know what? I have never seen a single group of guys with more than 12 people in the group and everybody can spit bars. Everybody. All of them are storytellers and all of them are amazing rappers. You can't name another group that's ever existed. that's been able to do that, and all have been able to have commercial success independently.
Method and Red, outside of everyone, have had huge
Redman is
commercial
not
success.
even a member of Wu-Tang, but people
Nope.
don't know that.
Oh, I knew that.
You might know that, but the average person have seen Redman with Method Man and so many other people of the Wu-Tang Clan for so long that they
Look,
think he was a member.
Explain to me. What made him so good?
They style, man.
They were bums.
How were they bums?
They were bums.
Explain to me how that is not one of the best songs.
Ah!
Tell me how that is not one of the best songs.
What song?
Creed.
Yes, terrible.
Oh my God.
Terrible.
So what about 36 Chambers? You didn't like 36?
Terrible.
Oh my God, man.
Never liked him.
Dude, we
Never
should have my
liked
cousin up here right now. My
Wu-
cousin,
hey,
my cousin
man.
is 17
Hey.
and he can school you on
Hey,
anything we say.
Wu-Tang was the truth, man.
No, they
Look,
weren't.
you can't name a rapper. You cannot name another rapper in the world outside of Snoop and Tupac themselves who've been around the world that get the type of love and respect that Wu-Tang gets.
Dre.
No,
Yep.
no,
Yep.
no.
Nope.
You would
Eminem?
think so. You would think so, but
Eminem.
no. Okay, I can give you Eminem.
Ice Cube.
No,
Yeah.
no.
Ice-T.
No,
No.
Ice-T doesn't get
No.
does not get love around the
But,
world.
okay,
No.
Wu-Tang.
No,
Wu-Tang
I
was those
see no.
wannabe commercialized rappers.
How?
They were not commercialized.
Oh
They
my
had-
God. I heard more Wu-Tang music on the radio.
because they were legitimately
No, because
good.
that was commercialized. They were commercialized
How
rap.
can you say
They were
commercialized rap?
commercialized rap.
How can you say commercialized rap when at that time there was no such thing as commercialized
I've heard
rap?
way more.
They were
closest-
it. They were the start of it.
Like,
No,
let's
the
put it this
start
way, like,
of commercialized
Right.
rap.
They were the
let's
start
go. Let's go like to a
Bro,
different genre. Like let's
the
say
start
Metallica.
of
Okay,
commercialized
Ride
rap.
Lightning is the most commercialized album outside of their newest one, in my opinion,
Who?
that they ever made.
Who?
No.
Metallica, I saw Metallica.
Justice was. And Black.
Justice for All.
Black was probably their biggest commercialized
Oh,
album.
see, now you know they're talking about shit that I don't know.
Okay.
No,
I like
But
rock
like,
music
but like
and other
on the
music,
radio,
too,
you did
you
not
don't
hear.
hear.
You
You don't
did
hear a
not
lot of
hear.
like Black was not a commercial album in my opinion.
It wasn't.
Man,
No.
I know old
It
people.
was
who
right
know who
before they
Wu-Tang
did that, but that was very
Because
much
of
them.
Method Man and
Man,
fucking
he had
Redman.
bars, man. Did you keep bringing up Redman? Redman wasn't
Okay,
even part
because
of
of Method
Wu-Tang,
Man.
man.
Because of the movies he was in.
Not even that, because it took them being on to get to the movie.
I mean, Method
can-
brings red
Okay,
to
here's the
everything,
question.
but that's just
Here's the
because
question.
They can still
How many-
go
how
around the
many-
world right now and
Hold on.
sell out tours.
Hold on, you
I
ready?
buy immediately.
Exactly.
I wouldn't. Here it
I
is.
would, dude.
Okay,
Have you ever seen Method Man them perform in person?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Dude, have you seen the bars of Luke Cage? Method Man?
Okay, you ready?
Oh,
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Here, you ready?
Yeah.
How many songs of NWA did you hear on the radio? None. You know where you saw that? You saw it in MTV,
Okay.
and it was cut up to hell.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
How many songs of?
But you're also aware
Hold
that
on.
Wu-Tang Clan, they weren't gangster rappers, though.
Yeah,
They
they were the
weren't.
commercialized garbage.
They
rap.
were
No.
They were the
commercial. That's
commercialized
thing, though.
garbage
It
rap.
wasn't commercial though.
But they were all over the radio. To me, like you said, like you've been making me listen to those stupid fucking mixtapes.
I haven't made you listen to anything
Yes, you
because you
have.
haven't listened to shit other than when we be here and I'll tell you a song and play a song.
What's that one dude that you told me to listen to? I really like him.
Who, Big Crit?
Yeah, I like him.
It's a bunch of people. Freddie Gibbs and
Okay,
some more.
you don't
but
hear him.
still,
You don't hear him on the radio.
You're not. It's
You know
not-
why? Because he's not commercialized. Wu-Tang was commercialized. Just get over it.
No, it wasn't. Because you know why?
How
You know
much,
what commercialized rap is?
How much
you
DJ
know- do you
Quick
know
did
what
you hear? How much
commercialized-
DJ Quick did you hear?
Hella
mumble
DJ
rap is
Quick.
commercialized.
No.
I heard hella DJ Quick. Do you know how many people he's produced over the years that I've heard?
Produced. I'm talking about how many of DJ Quick when rap before all this commercialized
What, from like what, like
bullshit.
94 to like what, 98?
Yeah,
I heard a lot of songs
No.
from DJ Quick, bro.
not on the radio.
This is what you fail to realize when you talk
Not on
about
radio.
commercial rap. Do you know what commercial rap music is?
Explain it to me.
Commercial rap music is the music that you go to the store and buy for your daughter.
I don't.
See, you say you don't, but in the world of music, I'm gonna be realistic with you. When you talk to rappers, that's why I'm little, because I'm not trying to sound disrespectful when I say this, but when you talk to people who rap, who are producers, R&B singers, they have different types of music they have to make. They have to make that the music that's for them that they do, and then it's what they call commercial, which is the music that, hey, no disrespect, sir, but this white man would take his daughter to go purchase into those concerts because those are the people that would spend that money. That's commercial money. That's what that is.
And that's what Wu-Tang.
Even if it is making a,
This new dude,
it
Chance the
wasn't.
Rapper. Chance the Rapper.
Chance is
Dude,
amazing.
Chance is
Oh,
phenomenal.
He's amazing.
But that would be like you saying that you won't take your daughter to go see a heavy metal concert that I'm.
But see, that's the difference, though.
Would you though?
The difference, no. Look, I wouldn't have no problem with taking my daughter to a heavy metal concert. But the thing is, it's the perception. It's the perception.
No,
With
no,
heavy,
I'm
hold on, wait.
talking
With heavy metal music, when I grew up, I was told that rock and roll and heavy metal music all consisted of drugs, death metal, and like devil worship.
Drum and rock and roll.
Right. And as you grow, you find that there's different genres in it. When it comes to rap music,
Grind.
all rap music is justified. It's gangster rap music, regardless if it's clean, whatever it may be.
No.
Yes, it
Dude,
is,
my
bro.
main music I
Yes,
listen to is
it
death
is,
metal.
bro.
And that is-
No,
No, I don't fucking worship Satan. They don't either.
I'm not saying that you do neither.
No, I know. No, I see where you're coming
But you
from.
see
I'm trying
what
to agree with you.
Right, you see where I'm coming from.
Here's what the 78 percentile of people's mindset based upon what we're talking about is true, because that's the population.
But see, that's right. That's based off perception and perspective. You have rappers who are very talented.
No. Here's what I'm.
Hold on, wait. Who are very
Yeah.
talented, who are very good wordsmiths, very good storytellers, who can paint all
In the
kind of
woods.
pictures.
Yeah.
Do you know
Yeah.
they will not play them on the radio if they're not talking about derogatory
Yeah,
things in
Jack the
general?
Ripper.
When you mention Chance the Rapper,
I
Chance the Rapper by
don't like the
chance
newer,
because he met the
I don't like
standards
but,
of the Grammy
I was
folks.
at Chances the rapper.
The people at the Grammys who come up with these decisions on best rapper and all these are older people
See,
who
I
don't
like
even
that
know
song,
what
my
hip hop
favorite,
is.
Delaware.
You're talking about an industry
Everyone's
standard.
trying to-
Yeah, that's what I'm saying though. But that's what commercial music is based on.
And that's what I'm talking about. And that is what
was
you
that?
fell into.
What
Don't
was
meet
it
the expectations
called? What was it called?
Yeah, that's what you fell into.
It's like when you first
Hold on,
came out
wait.
with all your chainsaws.
You have to be just.
And then they started- That was
That was-
beautiful. That was beautiful.
That was,
Right. So look, what do you
I know
say?
what I'm talking
But the
about.
It was
standard
called
is
like
not
zombie or apocalypse. It was called
Yeah.
something.
gangster rap
It
or
was
non-gangster.
I have all that on my
Standard is
Oh,
what's
me
got-
too.
What's going to make people's heads bob?
Right.
What's gonna make
So look, you say that, right? So why is it that
Side
you have
conversation.
you can have because everybody the closest the thing that everybody knows to rap right now, which I don't even consider a rapper, is Drake.
Oh my God, Drake is
He
a
was
piece
better
of
as
shit.
Jimmy
Hold
Underground.
on, look. People will consider
Jimmy
that
on the
rap
grass.
music and
When he
say
got
that
shot in
that's
his
what's
spine.
acceptable.
I went and saw Nelly
He was
last night. I'll
published
show you
over.
right now.
I'm sorry.
Nelly was good.
Dude,
Published how?
Nelly is awesome.
Push his work.
But see, you got to think about it. I mean, me personally,
If I write a book, you think it would be published?
no, not necessarily.
Okay, but Drake's published. He
There's
has
a
somebody
difference.
behind him that knows exactly where to put his stuff to make it work exactly the way people want to hear it, so he can continue to make money for them and himself.
And that's true.
Otherwise, he won't do nothing if you don't get money for it.
Exactly, because
But he should.
in the category
He
that
will.
he's in with what he's doing in this genre of music, it's been broken down to the point to where what it takes to do and provide, if you're not doing something that, like you said, that you can bob your head to and all that other shit, people are not going to buy it, and they're going to say that that's not rap music. You have people putting labels on
Well,
it.
here's what you missed my complete
Well,
point.
all right, go
Here's
ahead.
what I'm saying with Wu-Tang.
Oh, that's badass.
God, thank
Terrible,
you.
Terrible. They're not KRS-One.
Oh my God, no, bro. No,
Oh my
you want to say something?
God.
The only thing I'll give you on KRS-One is the bridge is over, bro. The bridge is over.
They're not Nas.
That's it.
They're not Nas.
Nas isn't Nas, okay?
Well, not now.
Never. Nas
Oh
don't
my
know. Look, I'm gonna tell you something. Look. Jay-Z said it best when it came to
Don't
Nas.
even get me started with Jay-Z.
Jay-Z said it best when it came to Nas. You don't know if you want to be a prolific
Okay, then what
preacher
about
or if you want to be some kind of hood ass rapper or some shit like that.
Southern thing, though.
Same thing with DMX there right now. DMX is the
DMX
pastor.
is
He
the-
can't-
DMX was a beast, dog.
DMX
Oh, no.
is the
DMX
only
was the
real
Talking about the pastor
definition.
thing now. He's a pastor now. Did you know that?
He's always been a pastor.
Yeah, he's always been. DMX is the only real gangster rapper ever
So
out
Sam-
there.
I disagree, man. I
Hey,
dis-
come on, dude. You
I
make
disagree,
millions
bro.
of dollars and you still live in South Central Los Angeles. You still do B&Es. You still go to jail. You still do drugs.
That's
dude
because
lived
he-
his
that-
life.
that's because he was a fucking junkie, bro.
Well, that he was. But
Okay,
he was still,
but that-
Exactly.
but he
that
was
has
still the
nothing-
man. He was still the
Okay,
man.
but still though,
He
that
was
doesn't
still better than
that doesn't
Wu-Tang.
just qualify him as a gangster rapper.
No,
Like,
but he was still better than Wu-Tang. He
But he was
still never
gangster.
sold out. He had
I'll put
one
it to you
song
like
that
this.
sold
I'll
out.
put it to you like this. as far as him being an amazing gangster rapper and albums, I'm not gonna classify him as a gangster rapper because he was something along
He was
his own
something
kind.
totally
I've
different.
never seen anything like DMX when it
Never.
came to rapping, spitting bars, presentation.
Nothing.
Seeing him
That's
in
fair.
concert, he was the first artist I ever seen who could talk about using drugs, selling drugs, being in violent situations, and then turn around on stage with breakdown in tears and start praying and
Oh, yeah.
asking God for forgiveness and turn
100%.
around and ask you to pray with him. Like I've never seen anything like that. He's an enigma, man.
He
So I
is.
can't even put him in that category of
He's just an anomaly. He's out there spinning out this instance by himself. He's the only one there.
right. And see,
When
that's
you
why
start to recognize it and see it. That's when he's asking.
So let me ask you this, because you too, because you were just talking about Tupac not too long ago. Because I'm a big believer that somebody, I'm not saying he didn't have drug problems and stuff like that before, but I really feel like somebody sabotaged him at some point.
Who?
Oh, absolutely.
DMX, when he got to the point,
I think he
of-
did it himself.
I'm not saying that he didn't use drugs and stuff on his own. What I'm saying is he got to a point where he was really clean. You got to think about it. 98 was his year. You got It's Dark and Hell is Hot. That was a classic album.
was.
That same year he released Flesh in My Flesh and Blood in My Blood. You have two albums that went double platinum in 1 year.
Yeah.
There's never been another rapper or a person to pull something off like that. The minute that he started talking to people about God, bro, the minute, and I'm not pushing religion or nothing on anybody, but the minute that he started,
I do that.
right.
So,
But the
yeah.
minute he started talking about God, all of a sudden, that's when the media and everybody else started trashing him. He started having all these problems and all these troubles. Like I said, people.
Why do you think that is?
But how much
That's
of that was
I
his
know why.
feeling?
I know why.
I mean, that was his feeling. That was what he wanted to portray onto
But
everybody else.
you forget the
That's not-
78th percentile. It's
Doesn't matter.
Caucasian that don't want to see his portrayal be their portrayal.
And that's all I was saying about the commercial shit.
I'll have to give you that.
And that
one.
was Wu-Tang.
But no,
Oh,
you
I will
can't
say there's a
I can't, 'cause that's
percentage
the
of that
truth.
country-
it was.
I mean, I'm a.
To me,
I'm a
Wu-Tang
fan.
is one of the most overrated
My
rappers
mom-
ever.
oh man, you
Oh.
got it, man. Ghostface Killer. Have you ever heard? Come on,
They're
man.
one of the most overrated groups ever.
Man, you never heard the Ballad of Pretty Tony, man?
Overrated groups ever.
Ghostface is a
Overrated.
beast.
Overrated. Overrated.
Oh my God.
It makes
So-
no sense to me.
Overrated.
So for you to sit up there and say, okay,
What makes
DMX,
Jason-
like to
or
me,
30 makes no sense, yeah.
an amazing person
I
that
call
I
him by his
consider
real
like
name.
a gangster rapper, sort of ahead of his time. And I
Oh,
just got to
sorry,
be
1,030.
honest, and this is me.
Yeah.
And I'll say
I
Pimp C.
don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of people would disagree, but Pimp C, he was way ahead of his time. As
Okay.
far as insightful,
Can I ask a question?
what's up?
So, how does whatever any of them have been through,
Mhm.
so their drug addiction, their weed addiction, their
Mhm.
If you can be addicted to weed.
I mean, yeah, whatever.
well, there are people that are addicted to weed. I mean,
Yeah.
there are people that cannot function. We are in the
It's-
medical field, trust me, we know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
this happens for everything, bro.
what makes Snoop Dogg any different? Why do we glorify him so much?
You know why we glorify Snoop Dogg? Because Snoop Dogg was one of the first rappers
To never make any bones about what he did or who he was.
but it was because it was easier for white society to accept him. You got to think about
Palm
it.
Beach is pretty white where he's from.
That he beat the murder rap. He didn't
That
have
was a
no
great
issues
song.
with that.
That was
And
a
then on
great
top of
song.
that, it was the fact that he got that rub from Tupac. I'm gonna be honest with you. If it wasn't from that rub with Tupac, he wouldn't have been around as long as he's been around. I don't care what anybody says, regardless if it's the Chronic with Dr. Dre or if you jump from that and go straight to No Limit when he was working with Master P. That one song he had with Tupac carried him the rest of his career, bro.
That's another one that's overrated too.
Who?
Master P.
No.
Yeah.
Nah.
Yeah.
Don't
We
get me
had
wrong.
this conversation.
No, don't get me
once
wrong.
already.
As far as a business mind, he's
What about
a.
Raw Bass and Easy Rider?
I heard
What'd you
him.
say?
What about
Raw
Raw
Bass.
Bass and Easy
I heard him before.
You're talking that's old school
It
there.
takes two to make a single record.
Yeah, that was a hard
That's
song. That was a hard song,
classic.
though. I mean, but still, that was a hard song, though.
That's good shit.
That was
I'm
a
just
good
saying,
song.
without NWA, none of that shit would have happened.
I can't necessarily say that, man.
Oh yeah.
You want to say why I can't necessarily say that? Because just because Eazy-E them was the first to bring it to the world's attention, don't mean that it wouldn't have been another group of
Not
rappers
like
or people.
that. Not like that.
You never know,
They
man.
brought out the scene that most people didn't understand because they could never see it because they never been in it.
And they never believed it until they saw it.
Right.
A lot of people will say NWA was the
was the whole birth of the wigger.
What?
The wigger.
No, I say Vanilla Ice, bro.
No way.
No.
Because
Nah.
think about it.
Nah,
I would not say NWA was better.
Oh yeah, because listen.
I say Vanilla Ice.
Well, I guess where I grew up, I guess it was different because right when I moved out to the county from moving from the city where I grew up.
Right.
Where I come from,
Okay.
that right there is just literally just disrespectful. Can't stand that. Hey, what? The word.
Which
word? Wigger. Any of those words. It's like word. Why do you talk about
He
that?
shuddered, man. He shuddered.
Why do
Man.
you talk about daggers? That's like saying.
No, say what you gonna say, man. Say what you gonna say,
I
cause
don't get that. Like,
What do you
but
call it?
but that's like saying I got red hair. You know, I don't got, you know.
But when you're
they got
when you're a white
people
person and you're wearing your pants around your ass, so
you know what it is.
That's just
But you know what it is,
that's
though?
the way they're
You want me to tell you why it's crazy to you? And this is what I tell a lot of people, because I try to look at stuff from all views. We're reaching a point now, and I've said this, we've had this conversation before, where a lot of the younger generations and everything, all the struggles that our parents and our grandparents and everybody have been through, it's all gone. We don't know those things. So when we do have hip hop music and all this other stuff, and they hear us saying nigga and all this other stuff, they're not really in tune with the pain and stuff that comes with that. Like, don't get me wrong, I heard people say, well, why do black people still say it and all this other stuff? But it's any other thing that's ingrained in your DNA. We've taken it to the point where it won't hurt us having somebody say it, but it's too much blood on it for people to randomly come up and just be saying it. So when you live, when you live in modern America, and like I said, I believe that black people, most of them who are recognizable are only recognized through entertainable means. Like, they're not most of the time. So when but see, this is, I'm not saying that there's a difference though. With us, it's cultural appropriation. They saying that it's not good for us to do it, but then they'll take their own and bring somebody in and mold them to do that same thing. Whereas with a Barbie, not to cut you off,
but it's still portrayed as that's what's beautiful.
right? But a Barbie, the difference between that and a Barbie,
Is it though?
the Barbie is a standard set by, and that's no disrespect to anybody, a group of homosexual men on what their perception of what a woman's supposed to be. So like I hear you. I don't want you to think I'm trying to cut you off and be disrespectful. Like it's that's what it is.
Okay, now so back to what I was saying.
Right.
He said the whole thing that got us on the
He says
tirade.
that a lot.
We got this on the tirade because where I grew up, I grew up in Peabody Project.
Right.
I had the cornrows, I had the braids, I had the dreads.
Can I see a picture of this?
I don't know, my mom's got them somewhere.
His
So
wife
you
has
move. I moved from the city to Hillbillyville.
Hey, that you're stereotyping now.
Oh yeah, I
Hey, he said,
Far
I'm
south
That's
county.
the question I was getting ready to ask you. So,
No, hold on.
what
What's
makes
the
it
difference?
okay?
You scared
What
me
makes
from my
it okay?
what makes what okay?
That you guys, and we're gonna just do this for argument conversation.
Yeah, go ahead.
There's no
I'm not getting.
No,
ready
we're not
to
having an
throw-
argument. I just want you to
I'm
know.
not getting ready to throw names.
No, not at all.
Throw
No,
into the middle of
hold on. Before you say anything, here,
figured out or makes one argument.
here on this show, I just want you to know there's nothing that you can say that will be deemed offensive
Okay.
because this is an open forum. We're just
So,
talking.
Here's my question. Why is it okay for both a black and a black to call each other a nigger? But
We
why
gotta
is
say
it
with the
not
A.
okay? No.
Yeah.
Bullshit.
No, let her finish.
Because
Okay.
I work with chicks. We
All right.
both do. Well, you don't now.
She goes, you don't.
All right,
I live.
She'll walk up and she'll be like, "What's up, my nigga?"
right. Now let me ask you
So
this.
this is my question. So it's okay for them to call each other that, but if I were to sit there and say that, then I would be offensive. But I can be walking into work and I'll walk by and Janelle will be looking at me and she'll say, "Oh, what's up, Craig?"
Now,
So
I'm not gonna say.
and I will let me preface this
Mhm.
by saying there are niggers, there are niggas, and there are black people that are probably niggas. Because somehow that whole classification just is something that you two or everybody's created that I don't know the meaning of. because
Okay.
I'm
All
not
right.
there and I
Now-
don't get to see it all the time.
let me tell you this
Why
now.
does it exist?
The thing about it is, I don't know.
There's whites.
I don't
and there's
think-
crackers.
I don't think you're
There's
familiar
mixed,
with the
there's
history.
Mexicans. So I'm saying, with it, when it comes to a title that we go and lump
Mhm.
society into, because we base it
Mhm.
on how we see them and how we approach them.
Mhm.
How does that any of that make it right?
See, I'm not saying anything is right in any sense.
But we have
But-
to deal with all of it
but
because
see-
we can't say a word.
But see, this is the thing, though. Let me ask you this. You're an American, right? Let me ask you this.
Born and raised.
Were your parents born here?
Nope, my dad was from England,
So your father's from England. What about your mother?
Des Moines, Iowa.
Des Moines, Iowa. So, with that being said, you have family that are from different places who probably came to this country and got involved in this country after a lot of those issues were done and over. A lot of black people, I try to get them to understand that a lot of younger white people, due to the lack of information and truth-telling in this country, they proceed to think that all white people are racist, that all white people do perceive us as niggas. Now, if you know anything about the word nigga and where it comes from, it actually means godlike or king-like. Originally, it started in Africa. The first, at least of my knowledge of it being known and said here in America, slave masters referred to their dogs as niggas. And then it passed on and then moved on. Now, I'm not going to say that it's acceptable for us to constantly sit up here and say it to each other, but it's just like training an animal. I'm not comparing my people to animals, and I'm not one of those people who believe in victimization of anything. But slavery was real. I don't harp on it like a crutch, but for hundreds upon hundreds of years, you were taught to think and view yourself a certain way. Somebody told you that you wasn't smart enough and that you had to focus and see yourself a certain way. So once we move past that, wasn't just brown skin, but see, this is the thing though. This is the thing. When it moves past, you get to the point where we're no longer slaves, but yet we're still recognized as niggas. They're calling us niggas to our face. They telling us that we niggas to our face, to our children and everything else. So as that moves on, the only thing you see yourself is that, because that's what you were described as. Even in the Constitution, the 13th Amendment, we went from being niggas to prisoners. Now we live in a world now where we've heard it so much that it's second nature. You can't cut it off. Like if you go anywhere else around the world, you don't hear that like you hear it in America. It's ingrained. It's ingrained in. You see what I'm saying? It's ingrained in us, and it's sad that it's like that. But at the same time, too, I hear just as many black people who will say, you know what? I'm a nigga and it is what it is. Like,
Is that true?
it depends on who that person is and how they define it.
Believe in themselves.
Because some people know the true meaning of it and they'll never let that derogatory term of what it's supposed to be approach them, that, you know what I'm saying, get to them and make them feel any type of way. I've been called by white people a bunch of times, and the shit don't mean shit to me. It rolls off my back, because in all actuality, I know the only reason you're saying that shit to me is because you feel some type of way about yourself. The only reason you saying that shit to me is because my presence is making you feel some type of way about yourself.
But guess what?
And I can't help that.
I grew up in Madison, Illinois, and I got
Words and meanings.
many times probably you got.
And see, you know what? And I heard a lot of white people say, well, why do they call us hunkies? And why do they call us crackers? And I tell them once again, you got to look at the history of shit. If you look at black families and shit like this, all the ghettos and the downtrodden areas that we were put in, all the rich white men and women who would come down to those neighborhoods. No, you fine.
I'm gonna turn it back.
All the rich white people who would come down to those black and brown neighborhoods looking for their cocaine and looking for their prostitutes. He wouldn't get out the car to get it, would pull up in his Cadillac and blow his horn. Hey, the hunky outside to get you. The word cracker comes from whipping a whip. And since then, even though slavery don't exist, there's always, and there's no disrespect, not saying there's all white people, there's always a white person there on a black person cracking the whip, regardless if they like it. I told Dirty.
It had nothing, like I said, had nothing to do with brown skin. The cracker term comes from way back before that, whether they were the slave who was whatever color.
Now, when you say the real definition of the word, right?
Right.
Okay. So if you go back to about the 1800s.
Of what word?
Actually, probably further than that.
Are you, which
Okay.
word? Are you
Of
still?
nigga.
Okay, cool.
You go way back.
Okay.
Like one of the very first dictionaries, they're hard to find
Right,
anymore.
of course.
There's 3 meanings for that word.
Right,
One, the very first meaning means a low educated person.
right.
Because that was in like the 15s and 1600s.
Now, mind you, when you
That's
say
your
this,
Huh?
remember.
That's your man.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Now,
But hold
before
on.
you go, I'm not gonna cut you off, but mind you, when you say this, I told you, have truth. There, people they write
Yeah.
books to their narrative.
Yeah, but that's what I'm
Right.
saying. It wasn't until slavery when it took a totally different change of the word. You know what I'm saying? Like in England, what's a cigarette butt called over there?
A fad.
Okay.
Okay.
But
The only reason I know
term
that because I
became
had a
used for
gay dude
gays
crack a
because they
joke on me and
burned
said
at the stake.
I'm gonna
Right,
go smoke
exactly.
a fag now. Like,
So,
it
like,
threw me off.
Back
It
then,
threw me off. Like it really threw me
but, like,
off.
What
before you said, before you know, the white people started going and getting the blacks from Africa
Mhm.
and bringing them throughout the world and selling them and all that. The word actually meant, and I remember, the only reason why I remember this is because it was in school and it was like the last time we were going to see this dictionary, and Pops told me this. You know, the old black guy that lived in projects with me.
Right.
When he would tell me, he goes, come here, my little cracker. He goes, words are just words.
Right.
You are the one that has to let the meaning behind the word take effect.
Right.
If you do not let a word bother you,
That's the resume.
then the word doesn't. Then it's just a word. It has no meaning.
True.
It's all in how you feel and how you perceive that word.
True.
He goes, so no matter what
Yeah.
anybody says to you, if you don't let it bother you, it's not going to do anything.
Okay, you can say not let it bother you, but me not letting it bother me and the world's perception of it is two
That,
different things.
you're right.
bro.
You're absolutely correct. So what it said, like you said, the word meant low educated, and then as slavery started coming, then it went to the godlike area, like you said. Then once slavery took full effect, everything else, just like all history and then stuff like that, everything was rewritten to fit that word.
Mhm.
I mean, you look at it; it's still the most offensive word in everything.
You just talking about the spin-off things. how
But now, like,
everything up.
See, here's what I
It's the
was.
deflection. It's the denial.
I mean,
No, here's
I mean-
here's how I was saying.
No,
when I
no,
said
wait, wait,
bigger.
Wow.
What you saying? I want to.
That's the deflection of that, the denial of that word because the pain that it's caused in human beings, and we're all human beings. And for us to have to live that and feel that the possibility that could happen to us, to easily spin off.
See, I got a question now.
See, but
Let me ask you this, because I've talked to other, white people and shit like that, and
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't see no white people.
all right, well, my bad, bro, my bad, but
I mean,
my thing is, do you think, or what's the best way to phrase this? Do you think a lot of people are afraid that certain things that have happened in the past will repeat themselves, but be on the opposite end?
Yes.
Yes, absolutely.
You know what the worst part about that is?
Charles Manson has
Is
that
that
theory.
everything repeats itself, and guess what people do? People look for it, do it again.
Mm.
They want it to happen again.
Yeah.
It's sad.
That's true, man. That's
People
true, man.
really will see history repeat itself and search it because it's the only thing they know.
Mm.
It's the
How
only
much
way
of
they
that
know
is
how
an
to-
incentive to make it happen?
No,
again?
no, that goes
They
back
do.
to the
They
show.
try.
That goes
They
back
do.
to the show.
They try to reincarnate things that have happened before. So I mean, like
Yeah.
you look at people that, look at your Oklahoma City bombing. Okay,
Find it.
So- there's
Man,
I don't know,
one.
man. I think that was an
Then
inside.
you've got 9/11.
Oh, come on.
What?
No, the Oklahoma City bomb wasn't in it. That was done by some crazy.
I mean, it's
fucking
cool.
redneck.
It's cool.
I mean, also like with 9/11, like that guy built that building to try and take a plane hit. Too.
That's what I'm
Because-
saying, B.
And pancakes.
It makes no sense. I tell people this all the time, man. You've seen action movies and shit your whole fucking life, bro. And you see how these buildings blow up and how they fall down and do all this other shit.
That's in Hollywood.
Bro, you telling me 2 big ass planes that's like taking a fucking empty soda can or even a full soda can and pitching it at this fucking wall.
What's it gonna do? You put
It's gonna
put your
explode.
fuel in it, yeah.
It's gonna explode on contact, bro. And even if it does damage, it's not enough damage to destroy this wall, bro. But people, that's why I say people suffer from normalcy bias. They do the same shit every day and see the same shit every day. That when some larger than life shit happens, they don't question it.
I'm not gonna let anybody tell you you're an idiot.
No, they can't. Because
Sandy
I know.
Sandy Hook.
I don't believe that shit.
Who played around in that?
Because look, only reason I say I don't
Really,
believe it.
where's all the teachers that were there?
Let me
that
ask you
lived
this.
through it.
That shit.
Where's the students that lived through it? Where's the parents that lived through it?
Where are the
nobody
two
talk?
men? Where
Not
are the
one
two
person
men that was on video running out of the building, covered in complete camouflage with duffel bags that the police chased in the woods outside of the school, that they all draw down and made them get down on the ground? They fucking disappeared. That's why I say I believe a lot of this shit be inside shit.
You know
man.
why they disappeared? You know why they disappeared?
Because the shit didn't happen.
They was thrown away into a dark hole, just like in the Suicide Squad.
In
You know what
an
they say?
ultimate real life,
You know what
that
they
would
say?
be exactly what happened.
It's
You know
exactly what
should have
happened.
You know what they say freedom is? It's no longer freedom, it's feardom.
It's been that
But
way
how
for a
did
while.
nobody saw body bags get rolled out of that school?
Nobody saw
Nobody
shit.
saw shit. They covered that shit for over a week, and nobody saw any bodies being brought out of that.
Like a
school.
show little. I can't believe they're gonna like show little kids being carried out of that school.
I'm not
don't
saying they're
care.
gonna
It's
show little kids.
youth-worthy, so they're
I'm not gonna
do
say that
anything
they just
can.
Look, you know how I feel about the news organization. They're the most crookedest
Okay,
motherfuckers in
They
the
won't
world.
show that. Look at that in Gaddafi. They won't show. You see that video?
Hey, that was fucked up. And
They
you know
don't
what?
show a kid come out. If they're gonna show Gaddafi, they're gonna show a fucking kid.
And that's fucked up.
What's
Because you know
different?
what?
That's Gaddafi. They don't.
Bruh,
care.
hey, you know what? You know what?
Film it. They're gonna show it. Gaddafi shit got.
Hey, you know what? A lot of people,
Yeah, it did.
a lot of people shit on Gaddafi, bro. But he was a good man, dog.
Well,
We've had this
man,
conversation.
Wait a second. Ain't I a good man? in my own mind?
Yeah. I'm not saying. I'm not saying.
No.
I'm not saying you not. I'm not saying you not. But the thing about it is, America has this way of choosing who the fuck they want to be villains after they put them in that position, giving them the power, giving them the money, and even told them what the fuck to do with it.
Right.
And the
Did
minute,
Gaddafi feel like he was a
and the
bad
minute that they get their own independent thought, that's when they're taken out. I told everybody, like, to me, it was suspicious with Gaddafi because all the things he was saying came out talking about President Obama, which I don't give a fuck, really.
We had this conversation about Gaddafi.
But then after that, he was gonna start the United States of Africa.
Here's what it was. Here's what it was.
Right. He was gonna turn their currency into solid gold currency.
No,
He
why
was
do
working with
that? Why?
Asians. He was
Why
working
do
with
that?
Asians to
Because
start
New
their own
World
telecommunications line, building homes,
Hold on.
That
giving
would make
water.
their dollar more expensive than our
Yep.
dollar.
And the New World Order does
So
not work
therefore,
that.
it would bring more.
And I've told you. I've
revenue
said
and
this
money.
Yeah,
before.
but we up here talking to new people today too.
I know, but I've said this before. When you took out Gaddafi and you
some
took
sort
out
of
Saddam,
Slightly educated people today.
when you took those two men out of power in the Middle East,
And old dude
Look
in
what happened.
Venezuela. Old
Look
dude
what
in
happened.
Venezuela.
look what happened in the Middle East.
They
You took out the two
shit
most
got
powerful
corrupted,
men.
and they started putting banks in them.
You took out the two most powerful men, and look what happened. The whole Middle East went to shit.
That's the best way to put it.
You take out Saddam Hussein back in 2003, right? When we took him out of power. When Bush went in and got him, took him out of power. What happened? Boom, the rise of ISIS.
But see, look, you be saying I be on that conspiracy theory shit,
You
man.
are.
But real
You say
talk,
you ain't, but you are.
no. I just try to use common sense with shit. That's just like when people talk about terrorism and all this other shit. Like, there's a difference from radical terrorism and domestic terrorism. There's a
So
difference.
London being hit.
Put it to our level.
London being hit 4 times.
Hold on, I'm not saying that it didn't actually
That
happen.
was crazy.
But think about this though.
I mean,
Think about
You guys
this.
wanna hear something
There's
funny?
just-
My
there's
shoes came from
low.
China.
That's just like when the tower shit did happen. Nobody found it fucking strange that before that happened, like hundreds of billion fucking dollars just went up missing in the thin air. And then the next day they're having a motherfucking a test for domestic terrorism the same way that the shit's supposed to happen, and that's the same way it goes
But they've been
down.
doing, hold on.
What's the
They've been doing that
likelihood of
since
that, though?
93. Since the first bombing in 93 in the garage.
Right.
Yeah.
They've been doing any kind of terrorist test against, they would do them literally every single month. At the
I'm
World
not
Trade
saying
Center.
that, but what I'm saying, think about that though. The likelihood of that much money coming up
Okay,
missing,
just like
not being reported, then Larry Silverstein, the owner at the time of the World Trade Center buildings, takes huge insurance policies out on these buildings weeks before it happens, and then the shit goes down, and then these two buildings go down, and there's one building left that falls by itself. It wasn't touched, but there's video and there's audio of
Talking about 7?
Yes, come on, bro. Come on, bro.
hold on. We had this. I'm
I'm just
buying
saying,
into,
though,
I'm
like,
buying into
This is
maybe.
real shit.
I can
Like-
help a little bit. So
maybe something happened.
So this doctor has 2 patients, and they both have the same problem going on, and he's not going to sit around and think about, oh, what are the theories? He's going to break down right into his logic. What's going to be the most logical way to make sure that this patient gets the same care as this patient, even though maybe they got a little bit of different reaction to what's going on. So he's not going to sit there and worry about some theory or some conspiracy or something that he heard from somewhere. He's going to base everything on logic. So if you base 9/11 on logic, what point do you decide that somebody has something to do with it? What's the logical reason why?
Point I would make.
What's the logical reason why somebody
Money.
The money, bro.
Money.
The money.
So
That and the fact
what
that
is
the
most
FBI knew about it
logical thing in the
beforehand.
world? What do we all need all the time, and what can we not do without?
Oil.
No money.
Money.
Oil.
How are you gonna pay your rent? How are you gonna buy your food? How are you gonna impress your friends? How are you gonna do any of that stuff? So
Oil.
that's what they're doing. It has nothing to do with conspiracy. It's logical. It's all about logic, because you would die, and you would die, and you would die.
Here's what I do know.
in that medical office if that doctor didn't use logic to save my life. If he just used some theory and some conspiracy.
I mean, that's perfectly fine too. But even still, you can still wrap that up and say, that theory is your money.
Here's what I say. You
I
ready?
mean, your
You ready?
theory is
Here's
your
what I
money.
say. The white man's the devil.
And the white man, and the black man, and the red man, they're all
White man's the devil.
all
I'm glad
Oh, why you
my
gotta throw the
doctor
red
is
in
white.
there? Wow, whoa.
We all believe the same.
The white man's the
No.
devil.
We don't all believe the same.
No, we definitely don't all believe the same.
So that's where we gotta decide to say let it go, just like you.
No, it's like we've talked
I
about.
believe, and don't sit there and judge and put like,
And you know-
no, it ain't gonna be that
And you
way.
know what? That's perfectly fine. I can accept that. So look, I would ask you this. I'm gonna ask you
So here
something.
you go. Hold on. You ready? So we seem to have 2 logical, sensible people here.
Okay.
Do you remember the thing that we were always talking about we were working on?
Right.
Okay.
And we gotta get that done, man. We've been
We do.
bullshit.
Okay.
We've
Do you
been
remember-
bullshit,
do you
man. We've been
remember-
bullshit.
Yeah, you
Do you
do.
remember what the
February.
last question we were going to ask?
That was a while ago.
Right? Do you remember the last question we were going to ask?
What makes you different from me?
No, that wasn't
What
it.
makes
It was
you
what
different
makes
from
you
you?
better than me?
Yeah, what makes you better?
better?
Yeah.
I'm not better than you.
It's not even.
See? Okay.
It's not even a moment of question, because I don't know you.
See,
I wouldn't sit there and say I was
I don't
better
know
than
you.
you
I don't
just
know
by
your
looking at
What
you.
was some of the other questions? Ask us some of the other questions.
I don't.
There's more. You want
I don't know what you've
morals
done. I don't know what you've ever
You like
accomplished. I don't know
dating,
anything about you. I don't know your education. I don't know anything about
But
you.
I mean, outside of
So
those
I
things,
don't-
No, we have a series
But
of
I'm
questions.
looking at you, and I would never sit there and say you're better than me or I'm better than you. You
But
can,
see,
you
because
can
you-
show up in a Captain America t-shirt, and I can show up in scrubs, and I could be a complete asshole and sit
Right.
there and say I'm better than you because I'm in scrubs and you're in a fucking Captain America t-shirt.
right.
And I can make judgment and pass judgment on you and assume that I'm better than you. But that's all on your upbringing and who you are as a person and what you do and who you do, what you do as for a living.
Right.
We work with people every day.
Right.
We see the struggles people go through every day. We go through our own struggles every day.
Right.
We check our shit at the door because we have to take care of people like you, or you, or you, or you.
No
Right.
matter what your profession.
So we don't give a fuck what you do.
Right.
We know that we have one set job to do in that day, and that is to provide you with the utmost care,
Yeah.
to make sure that you're taken care of,
Right.
to make sure your questions are answered, and to make sure that
She
you're
just
fucking
flipped us off.
happy
Did you see that?
when
She just flipped us off.
when you walk out the door, and that you know that you have been taken care of, and everything that you can have done for you has been done for you.
Right.
And the appreciation becomes that, it's the person that kept the light on, it's the person that kept the trash out of my yard, it's the person that made sure my toilet was flushed, made sure my sewer wasn't running in my yard, making sure that my
We
kid
deal
wasn't going to be
every
neglected, and
In the
making sure
walk
that,
of life.
that my autistic child was going to be taken care of, not taken advantage of. That's what we deal with all the time. So it's really easy for us to be compassionate about every single human being.
Right.
Every
We come
single
and
day.
So you know what the
So-
funny thing is? The funny thing is the 4 of us are all kind of in the same field.
Yeah.
But that's the only thing too. We
True.
know that. We
Not
all
me.
play a role.
We all,
Yeah, everybody.
We all-
I do shirts
We
and
all
video
do.
games.
but
Look,
at the
it's
same time
entertainment.
too, though,
We've all been miserable without something.
why is there zero
see, here's what
mutual respect?
Here's, don't say where it's at, but see.
Yep.
So they leave you guys and they come to me.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
And then they leave you guys and they go to him. for what he does. We're not going to talk about it. We can talk about it off air. But what we both do.
Yeah, for the most
But
part.
that's what's funny about it. But the question, we had like other questions to go with that, you know, because we were going to go, we can't remember what they were.
I had a couple, but one thing that always steps out to me that I always find myself asking people, because everybody always has this, I'd be curious of what people's perception of, because like earlier we were talking about like the whole like thug thing and everything like that, and like how, you know,
Something that exists.
but the thing is, I've always wanted to know, like, what is it that you think makes people, I'm not gonna say just be aggressive towards us or anything like that, no sole group of people.
About any type of person be aggressive.
I can say any type of person can be aggressive, but why do you think that, and I'm just gonna say, black people are portrayed and vilified the way that they are? When we've been given a numerous amount of rules and standards that we have to meet, and when we meet those standards, they're never good enough.
Yeah.
Before he even tries to
Go
answer
ahead.
this.
I'm curious. I really want to know.
So, I was married to a police officer. He is my roommate. He is a cop.
Hold on,
He
stop.
What?
You were married to a police officer,
Here you go.
and now he's your roommate.
Yeah.
Okay, just
We're out of like
trying to figure out how that-
for some
Yeah.
reason.
One play baseball that you coach. Brown.
Oh, okay.
So,
But people can't really hear you that well, so we're good.
that's fine.
Okay.
It doesn't matter. I don't.
All right, go.
So,
They come up here every Monday night and do these podcasts.
I can sit there and answer this only in one way.
Okay.
Because I am not out there, so I don't see
So
it.
you're going to answer it from a police officer's
I'm
standpoint.
going to
Okay.
answer it from a officer's point of view to a degree, because I'm still not them. But when your calls are 95% of the time
Mhm.
a domestic in progress,
Mhm.
a shooting,
Mhm.
a shots fired,
Mhm.
shots fired at them,
Mhm.
and you've got multiple people down
Mhm.
from a rolling drive-by.
Mhm.
Now,
Hmm.
you take those 5 calls,
Mhm.
just for argument's sake,
Mhm.
because that's pretty much an every night basis, and you focus all of that to the city that it's happening in.
Mhm.
Wellston Park,
Mhm.
Bonita Park,
Mhm.
Wellston Terrace,
Mhm.
I mean,
Charlotte.
since
Mhm.
I closed Friday.
The list can go on and on and on.
That's all for police.
Yeah,
trash.
Because I was just sleeping.
So you take all
It
of
is.
those, and there's
I text Penny,
probably
I was like,
5 more cities that
I'll
are
be here.
involved in that,
I text
but
Penny at 9:30, and I was like, here's the
omitting those.
thing. I just
So
woke up.
you have all of those statistics,
I have to shower.
because it's every
I
night.
need to. You don't want me in here like
And
this.
when I say every night,
You
Mhm.
don't
I'm not
want me
joking.
in here like this.
It's
I promise.
every night.
And then he was
I
like,
know.
"Okay,
I
do
live
your
with
best
it.
to get up
I know.
here
I hear it
before
every
I-
morning.
Because I'm listening to you because I have followers for this too, so I'm ready. I'm listening.
So I sit there and I say, your
Don't sit down
statistics,
by here.
basically speaking, versus what you would hear come out here. So say you take your call load from out here. He
Mhm.
was a cop out here for
Mhm.
20 years.
Mhm.
He's been a cop for almost 30.
Mhm.
So you take your call load from there to what you're getting.
Blue.
He used to think he was a cop out here. He laughs now. Says, I was never a fucking cop out here. I might as well have drove around in a fucking golf cart.
Mhm.
I'm a fucking cop out there now.
Mhm.
Because I have to deal with the shit and shots get fired at me.
Mhm.
Blonde streets
Out here, domestic.
black.
You can kind of tell.
Doctor gets home, wife caught him banging his secretary. Those are your calls. Every so often, you'll get a decent call. You'll get a suicide. You'll get a drunk. You'll get a fucking person that walks out in front of a train like they had the other night.
That was cool.
Well, Fallon watched that happen.
I'm just saying, you're that fucked up to walk out in front of a train. You got some
You're
balls.
60,
Oh my godfather
you're
died.
60-something years old to do that.
Right.
You're ballsy.
Yeah, you're ballsy.
You wanted it to happen. That's
You
all I
wanted
can
to
tell you.
I bought it
But
it's not in the locker. I had to get stuff
The-
fixed on it, so I get to pick
The
it up.
perception is because out here, the call load that comes out here, because that's what they see and that's how they stereotype,
Mhm.
is what they think exactly.
All right, now.
So now he's out there and he's dealing with
Every car I've ever bought.
Everyday,
Black
real life
people.
bullshit.
Now you are aware that you're giving me a statement and a perspective from a cop and not necessarily telling me.
He doesn't know because they're not all like that down there. They're not.
No,
They
no.
are
What I'm
not.
saying. What I'm saying
There
is
are people that will walk up to him and sit there and say, "God, I'm so thankful you're here."
right.
Danny's 5'6" and he's white and he's pudgy. He's nothing to be intimidated by. Has he done it for 30 years? Does he know the law and does he ferret? Absolutely. But at that point in time, he'll sit there and he'll go and respond to a call. And how you treat him, not you, but you, or you, or you, is how he's going to treat you back.
And that's perfectly fine.
So there's where the disrespect or the respect comes from.
That's fine, but that's not really answering my question.
Well, what's your
Because my question was, is in this country, stepping away from slavery, stepping away from Jim Crow, segregation, we have been put in a fucked up situation that white people have never taken responsibility for.
You think we're innocent? You're all
Hold on, no. Hold on. See. So hold on. Because look, everybody plays a role in it. But see, this is the thing. This is the thing.
The boss is here.
Even with both sides, we've never had power. You see what I'm saying? And when we do establish some kind of power or self-confidence or something to better ourselves, there's always a person to come through and knock it
You can
down.
join in.
Wait a minute.
You can join
To
in.
tell us that we're wrong and that that's not acceptable. And they'll continue to place barriers in front of us. So when I hear people,
It's always the white person knocking the black person down.
I'm
They don't want you to be on a pedestal.
but see, this is the thing though. I'll never sit up here and say that it's only white people
Really,
knocking
like
us down. But I'm saying realistically how this
But
country
that's
and how
how it
this
looks.
world runs, it's ran by white people. So when
See,
you,
but I beg to differ on
Technically,
but hold on,
that.
see,
the richest person in the world is a Mexican.
it may be true, but look, see,
But go and look at C in all aspects of the world. What was Nelson Mandela?
Nelson Mandela was a president.
Right. And what did he do?
He led his
was in
country
jail
until he went
for
to
a
jail.
very long time.
But was he great?
He was still a good person.
Oh yeah.
He was still a good person.
Right.
So look,
He was the
that-
foundation.
but see, even with that being said, look at that. When you mention Nelson Mandela, you have to mention a Martin Luther
I
King.
straight up
No, you
respect
don't.
him. I straight up
No,
respect
because
that.
it's the same. It's in the same standards, bro. Martin Luther
Yeah.
King was a stand-up dude and went to jail for being a
Because-
fucking stand-up
Okay,
dude.
that-
Because of what he
yeah.
believed in. So therefore, everybody sat there and scorned on him because he sat there and wanted everything to be completely different.
What
He
I'm
stood up for
saying
what he
is,
wanted.
what the fuck do we have to do to get that same even field or level of fucking respect?
You gotta wait. We've
The
talked about
bad,
this.
the bad thing is,
See,
though,
people.
you're
We gotta
great.
wait another. We gotta
You're
wait
great.
another 30 years.
See, we're
Okay,
also
so
being
here's
it's
the
only
thing,
been
here's
50
the problem.
years.
That one person talking.
You're
That's what I'm
great.
talking.
You're
Sorry.
great right now,
Right.
right?
Right.
So you and I, we're
All the
great.
time.
Well, I know you're great all the time. I've seen you 3 weeks in a row. So I don't care because I can sit there and go on your level all fucking night long. But the problem is with that though is it's not just you because you can't base everything off of one person.
I'm not. I'm just looking at
Every
perspective.
single person would have to live up to the same standards that you've chosen for yourself,
See,
but
this is
they
the thing.
don't.
But this is the thing when
But
you say that
We as
though.
white people, don't either.
Y'all don't have
We're
standards
we're
though.
equally
You
just
got-
as big of
you got
shitbags
present-
or
But see, that's or try to actually make a change with some shit,
somebody always comes through and knocks the shit down and says that it's not good enough. And if it's not good enough, they come up with all felonious rules and laws, man.
It's
Felonious
not good
rules.
enough to their standard.
But what the fuck? But see, this is the thing though. How the fuck are we not?
Hold on, let's hear his answer.
You can bring yourself to our standards,
All right.
but guess what's going to happen? The standard's going to raise again.
All right.
Yeah, you said that before.
I've said it before, but that's what I'm trying to.
You talked about power. And you talked about people who are in power. You talked about things that how different levels of society go. Right. You want to have some strength in your world. You want to have belief that you can become something and nobody can knock you down. So you got this whole pavement set up for everybody who's all walking on it together, right? With all these undertows underneath it.
Mhm.
All these things that have happened in all society, all these bad things that have ever happened to anybody. It's all washed up underneath, right? But yet you still want something, right? You want to feel like that you exist and you matter and everything that you do will stay above all that. So what you got to do is do stay above all that. Stop going down and floating up underneath that. Always stay above all that, and never let anybody take you down, no matter how hard they try to dip you back down into that fucking bullshit that everybody ever had to deal with, whether they're white, black, whatever. It doesn't matter. Because you can dip yourself down in there and feel that again. Why would you want to go down there? Why not stay up and up and up? Don't try to become higher than somebody. I'm feel lower than somebody. Stay
hold on. I will say this.
I'm optimistic. I heard y'all believe in those things.
Listen, I'll say this.
I'm talking
George
about
Washington
anybody.
Carver.
Greatest inventor ever.
Yeah.
That, and he made one of the greatest inventions ever. Peanut
Which
butter.
one?
Peanut butter. That's all I got.
Did he do it down here?
No.
He did it right.
See, I like his point.
It depends on how you look at it.
Maybe he pulled some
See,
fucking
Thomas Edison
some
didn't do that.
fury from
You
under
know
there.
where you're at. You know where you're at.
That's not what I'm talking about.
I know, man.
I'm not talking about taking your desires to forget what happened.
No, because like
And
I said,
not
I'm
like
not holding
Who
on.
cares?
I'm not holding on.
Look
to
how
shit.
many people's minds you've changed since we've been doing this shit. You changed my mind.
I
You
guess.
changed old boy's mind last week.
But that's the thing, though.
I'm talking about Martin Luther King. What did they do together? Did they walk?
Yeah.
They walk. Who else walked? Did white people walk with them?
Yeah, of
Did
course.
American people walk with them?
Of course.
So why don't
Yeah.
we just keep that? Why don't we just keep on walking?
I wouldn't walk with
and let that
Sharpton.
sludge that wants to fall back down into the depths of this deception, these things that we've created on each other, these pangs of hate and disgust and just slapping pain on each other that doesn't make no difference.
Right.
Just let it bounce.
Hold on,
out.
I do
Just
got to do
keep on
something
walking.
now. I do got to do
So
something.
throw a plug
I got to. This is YouTube.
all day.
I'm Dirty sitting across from me.
Damien.
We broadcast on the YouTube show
Penalty box.
from the penalty box.
Home of the
with
Yellow
Bats
Bats
with the Z.
Yeah.
We broadcast every Monday. So whenever the fuck we feel like we're
Yeah,
done.
whatever the fuck we feel like.
Right?
we're done.
Usually we broadcast on YouTube on the
We're
Dirty
sponsored
Sports.
by Speed Club. Like, you know what? Seabiscuit came back today.
There it is. But how is it when we get intelligent people? It's usually when we get idiots, we talk stupid shit. Usually when Seabiscuit comes on, we talk stupid shit. When we get intelligent people around, we get into deep, dark,
But it's
and political
you want to tell you why?
conversation.
You want to tell you why? Because it's real shit.
And
It's
no
real
arguing.
shit.
That's the best
And
part
that's the
about
best part about it. Nobody's arguing. I think what it is I think a lot of people want to have these conversations.
You know he's wanting to chime in.
And he can.
The
What I'm
little
saying
Jesus
is
guy over
people
there.
want to have these conversations, but nobody's willing to be
And we talked
respectful
about
and
this.
open-minded.
See, like we did a show down in South Broadway. We talked about this
It's
before.
all about Jesus, beer, and knowledge. You know what I'm saying?
We talked about this before. We said because we're trying to work on a documentary. We're trying to work on a documentary.
Definitely want to do that.
Okay, and it's basically we were gonna go into different areas and we're gonna ask certain questions.
Different
And
groups of people,
different
ages.
groups of people,
don't
and then
matter.
what we're gonna do is we're gonna have people of all different
nationalities, races,
nationalities,
ages.
everything. They're gonna sit down and they're
Still
gonna
gonna shoot you a
watch.
video.
They're gonna watch what we went out and
Norway.
filmed. And it's gonna be in a dark room. They're gonna have dividers between them. They're all gonna sit there and they're gonna watch us. They're not gonna be able to see who's next to them. Then they're all gonna talk about each different clip. And then we're gonna see what it is.
Society project.
Basically, and the question
you,
is we've talked about this. Like if you look, like, and I'll go back to the Brain Games show. Like if you look,
Show's
no
on
matter-
Netflix, by the way, if you haven't seen
what?
What
is?
Brain Games on Netflix.
Yeah. But what we don't realize is that we're all
You want to eat a
born.
beer?
No, I'm good. for now. But we were all born and
Oh, really?
to think one way. We're all born and integrated
okay
to think
with
one way. It's up
You
to
have to be open-minded.
exactly. It's up
Be
to
raised
our
as an open-minded.
yes.
So let me ask you this: Do you think open-mindedness comes with exposure to it?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
But yeah, we've talked a little dirty.
The less exposure.
Yeah, like my oldest son goes to
I
school.
think the less that you're around it, the more closed-minded you become because it's something new and it's completely different that you're not receptive
Explain why
to.
Friendship, Arkansas
So
is the most racist
therefore,
place I've ever been.
you're going to be more standoffish to that new
And see,
Well,
world.
see, open goes up, less goes down.
Well, here's the
See,
best part.
and
So
all right, go ahead.
hold on, we're doing the Mardi Gras show, right?
That was fun.
And we're just pulling people
Oh my God,
out.
in the church.
We're just pulling random people out, right?
I
We're
miss
just pulling
Jesus.
random people to come.
But
I
I
guess
miss
I'll-
Jesus.
We're just
it's
pulling
Jesus.
random people up. Well, we find
Okay.
this whole group of
That
black
was
guys.
Not him, but okay.
We find this whole group of black guys with
Don't
one
forget
white guy.
Jesus. Don't forget Jesus.
And we talk to
We
Jesus.
talked to
So we're
Jesus.
sitting there, and we're interviewing him, right? We're interviewing him, and out of just nowhere,
Oh yeah.
I look at him all. I said,
Oh,
guys,
the song.
I got a song for you. I was like, tell me if you guys would buy this. And they're like, okay, what is it? I go, I'm writing a song called Kill White. They literally all stopped.
They
and
look like
froze.
froze. They looked at me like,
their,
"Is this
their
okay?"
eyes got big, and
Is
they
this
asked him,
okay?
they're like, yo, man,
Is
is this
this
for real?
okay?
And he's like, yeah. They're like, no, man, seriously, is this a joke? I'm like, no, seriously, I'm gonna write a song, Kill Whitey. And these guys are freaking out. And then the one white dude comes up. I go, oh, look, it's the token white guy.
Oh man,
And these black guys are like,
that was a good.
they're like, are you okay? I'm like, yeah.
But see,
I
it's
said,
a-
what's wrong with the song Kill Whitey? And it's even when, because he's gonna interview the white people and the people who see black people as.
Well, there's
This-
a songwriter right there.
Well, yeah, but they like see him as
That's
those
what's
big
up.
demonized monsters, and then I'm gonna interview like the people that see white people
You
as
know
the
what?
big
It's
devils and all that, and then we're gonna ask them those questions.
You know what? My thing I always want to ask. It's not that I feel like we view us all as demonized, but it's certain
You know
things
what I'm
that
saying.
yeah, because it's certain things that click. Like they come to me. Like I'll ask somebody like, your issues or the problems you have with like a person of another skin color. Is that from experience or is that something you were taught?
Right.
Like, are these different things? Because I was telling them, like, I find it weird, bro. Like, I've been in different situations. Like, I can walk down the street and the lady will see me, and it could be like 5 white dudes over here, and she'll clutch her bag and go across the street over there.
Right.
But I tell you, this is the crazy thing. You'll lock your door, you'll clutch your bag, but you'll reach out to me and ask me to fuck your wife.
So I've walked up the
I'm
street
just
with
saying,
dirty
that's real
before,
shit.
and they're like,
Yeah,
they'll straight
like
up
that's
be
a real thing. bro.
clicks, like 8, 9 people deep. Black, white, doesn't matter. Second they see him walk down the road, they switch to the other side of the street. I'm not even kidding you. Like they'll see me, just him by himself.
man.
They'll switch to the other side of the street.
Yeah.
No idea what it is.
It's that hat. It's that hat.
What's
Yeah,
up
because
with
you
that?
know it's touching blood.
What about people that you ever run across people who just don't have that feeling at all? What you're talking about?
A feeling of
There's no judgment.
That just like
and
this
you
life.
know
and
what?
people
People who
just-
don't have judgment, those are the
Don't
best
you ever
people.
just have people that walk by you and you're walking down the street or you're walking down the
All
sidewalk?
day, all the
and then
time.
you
I'm not
go
saying
like,
that I don't encounter
You're
those
looking at
people.
one.
I'm not saying that that's
You
even what I'm
encounter
looking
one.
for.
But we all
That's-
say hi.
What is
See,
it?
I
What
was
is it
sure-
like to know that you encounter somebody who doesn't?
I mean, it happens all the time because I'm one of those people. I'm willing to say hello to anybody that I meet.
That's me.
I'll open up a door for any person that walks around me. I'm not judgmental. I don't base my
I spend my days brightening
experiences.
people's lives. I want to brighten everybody's
And
day.
that's what's
all
up.
I
Like
do.
I salute that. But my thing is like too, like
And I don't need to be saluted.
I wanna be able to for anybody to feel comfortable around me and I'll be able to talk. And I get it. Some
I am
people they
so
just have
uncomfortable around you.
that's your fucking fault. It's too late.
Because he's just so big and take your white face.
Yeah, he keeps getting into my camera shot.
Yeah, eventually
He
I'm
keeps
gonna have
holding up my
eventually
camera.
I'm gonna have this whole screen right here.
Yeah.
But I
He
mean,
knows I'm staying on your camera, and you just keep coming in.
I mean,
mine.
it's just it's crazy because I don't feel like all people are like that, but it's
I do.
like a double standard, bro. Like
I mean-
I don't see it with like, and I don't try to harp on racial shit or none of that other shit, but it's a double standard, bro.
So-
like when I can go
But
into
when you walk by somebody and they don't acknowledge you or they don't say anything to you, or
I don't
they-
take. You know what? I used to take
do
it
you-
personal,
do you
but I don't.
take offense to
I
that?
used to when I was younger because I didn't think about it, but at the same time too, I got to the point where I realized everybody has their own life, Everybody has their own experiences, and people are going through shit. I can't expect the person to always be happy and in a positive mood because that's unfucking realistic.
Right. See,
But respect is a whole
Look,
other
we talked
thing.
about this about 7 years
Respect
ago.
don't quit.
Right. 7 years ago, my entire outlook on life changed. Now I make
You read a
sure
special book.
that I did, and then I had a little 4-year-old guardian angel save my life. That's all. We've talked about this. That's a whole other story.
Yeah.
I make sure I go out of my way every
4-year-old's cool.
single day to say hi to somebody.
Mhm.
To make sure. I remember we were talking about this, and my oldest son now,
Mhm.
who is, I don't know how the fuck he became so normal.
Hey, Lil Dirty, I fucks with Lil Dirty.
That's
Huh?
fair.
Am I right though? How did he
Yeah.
become so normal?
Yeah, I fucks with Lil Dirty.
As a dad.
man.
As a dad.
I mean,
How did he become so normal?
I don't know.
he is
So-
pretty normal.
We're sitting there and we're
Compared to
Maybe
was in-
because he seen you just going off the rock and he just felt like, you know
I
what,
guess.
this is
I'm gonna
cool,
do the
right?
opposite.
But no, like we were walking down the street. We were walking down the street after this was in 6th grade for the DARE graduation.
Oh man, they're so. That's the worst shit in
That's
the
what
world.
great.
I know.
Fifth,
Dare
when I was
was
in
shit.
6th grade, I'm still in 6th grade.
That is what introduced me to
Split
Reefer,
'em up.
bro.
Right?
Yeah,
Huh? This is
like
I'm not
for
gonna
real,
say
man.
we'll talk
It's
about
because
it
of Dirt I got
It's in
high.
South-
Like
it's
I'm
South.
not lying. Like same
It's
day I
South.
went to Dirt program,
Yeah.
I went home and got high, bro.
Hold on, let me finish the story.
We all let that line down.
Yeah, let me finish the story. So he found a bunch of Big Mac coupons because we were sitting in Big Mac Land, right? So we're walking down the street, and
Yeah, I remember that story.
this guy's sitting there, and he goes, "Excuse me, sir, can you give me some money?" And I'm like, "Massive man, I'm sorry, I have no money." I was like, "But here's what I can do." I told my son, I said, "Little Dirty, give him 2 of those Big Mac coupons." I mean, he had a bunch of them. He had like 4 or 5 of them. He's like, "What?" I said, "Just give them to him." I go, "Here you." He goes, "Here you go, sir." And the guy's face like lit up because it's just, I mean, in 6th grade, you're what? 10, 11, 12 years old.
Oh,
And so this
11.
kid gave them to him. You right? So as we're walking away, he goes, "Well, Dad, why did I do that?" He's like, I was like, "Well, here's the difference." I said, "Austin, or Little Dirty," I said, we don't know that guy. We don't know if he's a drug addict. We don't know if he's an alcoholic. We don't know anything. I said, "But what we do know now is that we didn't give him any money." I was like, "But now he's going to go get something to eat." I said, "So what you did is you just maybe
You put a meal in.
help that man because now tomorrow he's going to go eat."
Like just a personal experience with 30. I've literally personally watched him talk to a meth addict inside of a very, very shady gas station for over an hour and a half, trying to get him to a shelter and get him to get clean.
That's what's up.
Like, no joke.
So what happens though? Like, so when you're that good person, so you're a good
But who-
person, you're a good person.
I try
you're
to
a good
be.
person. I'm a good person. You're a good
Look,
person.
we talking about
So
all
when
this,
you
but I haven't forgot my
go
question
and
for
you
you. We talking about all this, but I haven't forgot my question for you. I still got my question.
You
It's
pass
still
away.
Go ahead, go ahead.
But when you go and do all that stuff, and you see these people on the side of the road, just like I do, and anybody else does.
Yeah.
So I went
I
one
might help
day,
you with that.
and I got
Cool.
myself a foot-long Subway sandwich for
I think I know
lunch,
the question.
Mhm.
bag of chips, and a soda.
Yeah.
So I see this guy, and he's on the side of the road, begging for money. Said he will work for food. Well, I don't need you to work, but I'm gonna sit there and I open my window and I roll it down and I hand him my entire lunch.
That's what's up.
And he looked at me and he goes, "Fuck you! I don't want your fucking lunch."
Oh, you better than me. You better than me, because look, my pettiness would have kicked in, and I think I would
I
have
am
threw the
fucking
sandwich at
petty.
him. Be like, you really want to be like that? Like I'm helping you.
I remember.
Like no, you're not gonna do me like that.
I was
man.
so fucking mad.
Oh, I'm so.
So mad.
I remember.
I'm like, I will shove this.
See,
Eat it.
You know the old
Fuck
circuit city?
that.
The old Circuit City
That's
on
some
St. Paul
bullshit.
Drive.
Like, how can you be so
The old
unappreciative?
Circuit City on
man?
St. Paul Drive.
but here's the,
So no, there's a
I'm not
guy.
gonna eat, so you can eat.
Guy that used to beg outside of that place,
Right,
right? A cardboard box. He drove out in a Lincoln. Like,
yeah.
Hey,
Like,
there's
but
that.
he begged for
But
money
okay,
every single day.
There's this
He was
homeless
like,
guy that's off hour.
On those people.
Dude's
They
a
make
fucking-
like $70,000
Yeah, there are those
a year.
organizations.
There's
where
a
they
homeless-
understand.
That's a homeless dude that be over there off Olive. They think he's a fucking millionaire,
Yes.
bro.
Right.
Yeah.
Like he
Right,
gets
yeah.
money, man.
Like there's organizations where they will send people like us and make us look ratty and shitty and have us stand on the street corner and just beg for money
Gotta be bold.
and beg for money And the only reason why I know this is because me and my dad and my uncle, we were coming off right there in Virginia.
Right.
And we pull up and my dad's like, hey, you know, I got some work around my house.
They were near Utah.
Yeah. He goes, I got some work around my house. You know, you can come do it. He's like, you know, I'll feed you. He goes, no, man, that's good. He goes, I make more money standing right here on this street corner. And he goes, and then I go right back to my house over here.
I'm
not saying all of them are like
they
that.
change, add up, man.
They get me when they have a fucking dog.
Bold.
If you have a dog,
Here's another
You know,
social
what fucks me up is when I see him with a cell phone.
If you're affording
that
dog, that fucks me up. When I see him with a cell
The
phone,
cell phone.
that's a fucking monthly payment. Like, how are you paying?
That's the cell
All
phone.
right.
Cell phone
Yeah,
fucks
but
me
if
up.
that dog's healthy, I know he's getting money. Like,
Everybody, all of them don't have Obama phones, man. That's what I'm saying. A lot
Hey,
of them
listen,
have
now
fucking
you gotta
phones,
stop.
bro.
You gotta stop doing that. Look, it's some of the stuff. Listen, it's some of the stuff that I do, right? It's some of the stuff I do. I deal with a lot of people who live off of government
I'm
assistance.
gonna believe you that it's a bomb.
Okay, I work with a lot of people who live off government assistance,
we
right?
don't. That's we don't have to.
And so I'm watching this, right? And then they want to bitch about, oh, I don't get this and I don't get that. And I'm thinking to myself,
You ungrateful motherfucker.
I'm like, motherfucker, I'm out here
Man, I be
working.
hating this shit, man.
paying for you to
That shit
live.
disgusts me,
Damn,
man.
your shit.
Doesn't that piss you off though? Because when you're breaking your neck to provide
I don't care
and
who
do
it is, it's
everything you
anybody.
can, and they aren't happy with the service that you give or the time frame that it's going to happen, it makes me sit there and think to myself, you are so ungrateful
Yeah.
for
Right.
anything.
You don't even know I'm
Because you don't know the process that goes into
Right.
everything we're getting ready to do
Right.
for you.
Right.
You have no clue the hoops that people are going to jump through and the steps that need to be taken and the phone calls that need to be made. You just expect it to happen right now. So
Right.
there.
Hold on, we gotta quit talking about this because I'm gonna start going because I'm spinning. All right, you answer your question.
Oh, yeah, I gotta ask.
All right, so you mentioned that I remember you mentioned the guy that was the officer, right?
'Cause I got studying to do.
Because this is my thing. I'm pretty sure with you dating an officer, you kind of know the history of
No, it's a
police.
roommate now.
Well, your roommate.
I was married to him.
So you
Married
kind of
now,
know the
we're
history of the
15.
police officers.
sounds
Well,
like 50.
I might be a little different, but as far as my history goes and looking up police officers in this country, the original police officers in this country were slave catchers. With that shit being said, a large majority of the shit they've been trained has been passed down 150 years. With that being said, a lot of them patrol and live in areas that they don't live in. And I feel like a lot of them, when you said that he was never a cop down here, but he went down there, I've encountered cops who pulled me over, jumped out, and draw weapons on me before they asked the question. I'm not saying it's him, because I don't think all cops are bad, but I think a lot of cops have this perception and are being taught that a lot of black people are aggressive and that they're going to react violently.
I told you that one story
You know
happened to
why?
me the other day,
But-
right?
All people are aggressive.
But
Do this.
you don't see, look, this is the thing though. I'm not talking about even the people that are victims of crime, but you don't see them treat like, you know, the middle-aged white women like that. You know,
So here's my statement on that. And there are stats that I don't completely wholeheartedly know.
Wait, what's the question?
like,
Is it born and bred into them?
no, not is it
No,
born and bred
but
into them.
If they're based out
Because you were
here,
saying, like, the reason,
if they're based out here and then they go somewhere else, are they automatically going to portray that?
because I think it's off of, I think
What's
it's
the
off of,
question, though?
Isn't that
What is
basically
the
it?
exact-
the question, because the original
Exact
question I asked her was, what do we have to do to get better? When I asked her that, she mentioned
What
the
and
officer.
who has
As far
to
as, because remember I asked
do?
you
What and who have to do?
what I was
answered
trying
the
to
question-
say.
I think he answered the question for both.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
I'm not familiar, but the reason why I asked the question, because originally I asked, what do you think black people have to do
Black, okay.
to get a better
Brown
perspective?
skin,
And then
yeah.
after that, after she mentioned the cop, my question was, because she was like, you know, he has to deal with 5 different calls of all this nature.
But that's
Remember
one
when you
section.
said, hold on,
That's one
remember,
sector.
right, remember when you said that, you know, that's 5, it could be up to 5 people in a night that he's dealing with. I said, I believe a lot of those situations stem from untreated symptoms from other situations.
Absolutely.
When you have these cops go into these neighborhoods, they already have a perception of what it's like. I'm not saying all of them.
It's a scary.
I'm just saying,
it's a scary
I've had enough cops hop out on me and tell me this.
Because
I'm not
I'll
saying
tell
that
you right
all of
now,
them have.
He would never draw his gun on you.
But
He would walk
I'm
up
not
to you
saying
and
that. Look,
approach
I
you
don't
like
know him
that.
personally, but what I'm saying is, I've had more than, look, for your one
But
cop,
you are a big guy.
and that's perfectly fine. But
So
that's look,
that-
what I'm
What
trying to.
happens is a bunch of big guys like you need to step up in that neighborhood and change that.
That's
shit.
perfectly
So that
fine.
No
But let me
matter-
ask you this: if we change that, no disrespect, if we change that, how do we keep the guns and the drugs out of our neighborhoods?
Keep
Because
them out,
we don't bring those in.
Interact with them.
We don't bring those
Interact with
in.
the people
We
that
can-
are behind you.
But
that
see,
are
this is the
backing
thing.
you up.
This is the thing,
do
though.
what we
When we try to
together,
when we try to work
Martin
together,
they
and we
wanted to do it, come together and do that shit.
And when we try to do that, once again, we hit that wall where somebody tells
somebody
us
goes down,
it's not working.
somebody
Look
goes
at our
down.
school program. Currently now, I live in Creve Coeur. I don't even live in the city anymore because it's not worth living there. You know why? Because
You
they've
don't wanna
closed
get
down.
shot. You
It's
don't
not
wanna-
even about getting shot because you wouldn't even get shot like that. People have that perception
It's
that living
getting
in the
dragged
city,
down back
that
into
it's
that.
extremely dangerous,
You
and
have
it's not like that.
But you
It's
gotta
really
be
not.
part of your. You gotta be part
What
of
it
your
is-
neighborhood. You gotta be part of the people around you who influence you.
That's
No,
true.
What it is, you get
What it
influenced
is
into a certain way.
You have politicians and people who don't live in these areas
Oh, they do.
who affect not all of them, some, but not all of them. All of our schools are closed. A lot of our businesses are
Mayor?
closed. But it's
Some
not.
of us, though,
But look, you can name Mayor
Some
Slade,
live
anybody,
in
anybody.
that
I'll have something to say
area.
You
about
can
this
name
off-
You can name
off the
Francis
air,
Slade. You can
so-
name a bunch of people, but he's not been the
I can't
only
talk about it on
mayor.
air.
That's
No.
what I'm saying. It's an
No.
ongoing thing. It's before and after him. So you can name a
But
mayor.
it should be a team effort, though.
And
it
that's
should
complete-
be a
Well,
coinciding of a
that's the
group of
thing. Is we've
people
lost the sense of
getting
community.
together.
We've lost the
Not-
sense of community.
It's people getting together and having a
That
discussion on
community's
what can be
been-
done and what can be done
huge.
different.
But here's the thing,
No,
even in today's
the
society,
city.
The fact that
Everyone
this
has
been
lost
allowed to be brought in there,
because
so
of
therefore
our
now
pockets
they
and our
think that
phones.
that's okay.
Okay, I
You
grew up. What
understand what I'm saying?
You were just talking about what the things that are happening in that same community.
Here's okay. Hold on.
The atrocities that are happening every single day to those people in that community, whether it's good or bad, it's not ever good right now. Why?
No,
and when it
it's never
is,
good. That's
but
the
when
problem.
it is, does anybody talk about it? That's the
Because
point.
okay, here's the thing. Is there's
Everybody
no-
sees it though.
But
I
no,
see
okay.
it.
Let me ask
Never-
one
But see,
question.
let me say something. Let me say something. Let me say something. From the white guy that grew up in the hood, who was the minority. Yeah, right here. No, I mean I was literally the minority.
he was the one. He was the one and
No,
only.
Listen, when
He
I
was.
say it, I mean I lived in Peabody projects as a child. Okay,
My old roommate used to live there.
and it was gunshot after gunshot every single night, right? I mean every night.
So it's like,
Yes. Oh God, it was like fireworks.
That's why I hate fireworks.
So, but our building, the building that I lived in, we didn't have those problems. We didn't have the drugs. We didn't have the gangbangers and all that. Why? Because we were all one community. We kept them out of our.
But
we
you,
kept them.
you police
Yes.
your own.
No, I did. I was a
basically.
kid. I was a
I
little
know
bitty
you
kid.
did,
It
but
was
I'm
the
saying-
people in my
But it
complex.
was the people that were in your complex
And
that
that's
knew
the-
they didn't want this shit going on.
No,
They
it was
didn't want
because
it
we
to
had
be-
a sense of
but
community.
they weren't.
Right, but they all
when I
backed
was there,
each
they
other
weren't.
up.
They weren't cop callers.
Right. No, because we had a sense of community. Now, you don't have a sense of community anywhere.
Some places.
Basically, like I feel like he's saying it's like
You see what I'm
the
saying?
area he was in. It was more that the people there cared about everyone else's kids, cared about the people that were there. And then today you have people that are coming in these same places who just are looking out for themselves and not anybody else.
Like
Yeah,
so like okay,
but-
so in the job that I do, I was filling in another center. Okay, and I'm coming
Join the
through.
club. 225.
Well, I'm coming through. What's the
Not
little
that
town
good.
right there by the airport? Not Woodson Terrace.
I know what you're
the
talking
one
about.
next to it.
I can't think of the name of it.
It's
but
got
I-
the one-way
yeah,
street.
Yeah, I know.
It's got the road right along. It looks like an outer road, but it's not. It's
I know.
actually
I just can't think of the name.
is it Pine Norn or whatever the hell
Pine
it's-
Lawn?
Not Pine Lawn. It's
I fucking hate.
it's something. So I'm coming up, right?
Tell me.
I didn't see a stop. I didn't see the stop sign. Now I'm in my work vehicle. I didn't see the stop sign. I'm pulling up, and all of a sudden, I see the cop. I'm like, fuck. I saw the stop sign. I just barely said my brake and kept running. I saw it. Now, you saw what I do. You saw what I do for a living, right? Okay, so I've been sitting in my truck for literally 3 hours driving around, going into different areas and all that. So the cop pulls me over. I grab all the information. I actually go to open my door. I get out. The cop literally opens. I told you this story. Literally opens as he gets out of his car. He's got his hand on his gun, getting ready to pull. He goes, "Get back in your fucking van." I'm like,
out of the car.
That's understandable though.
Yeah, exactly. And it didn't dawn on
Sometimes
me.
you don't see what's going on because I've had a gun drawn on me twice.
Yes.
Nobody saw who I was, and when they come around and see who I am, they're like,
Oh no, he didn't give a
"Put it
fuck.
right the fuck
No,
back
no,
in."
he
never
didn't.
had a
Listen,
Bullshit.
I mean,
No, this is
because you know
not-
what?
I live here.
That's some fuck shit. And there's no disrespect, but that's some fuck shit.
Yeah.
Because a lot of them pull weapons and shit, and then they use that false ass narrative.
Yeah.
They were
Right.
fearing for their life and they were
Now, look,
scared,
I
and
picked
that's
up-
bullshit.
Against
I
bullshit.
won't argue that because they will do that.
One of
Hold on,
the-
let me
one of the
finish.
cops-
Are you talking about that cop that just tased?
Not even that, but
No,
that's
no,
a
one of
fucking
the-
example.
That's a whole
That's
different
a
story.
fucking example.
The kid that was handcuffed and they tased him to death?
Not even that. I thought you were
But
talking
here's
about
the
the
thing.
guy that was the cop who got shot by another fucking cop.
Yeah,
I heard about
that
that
one.
too.
Like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
You don't think I was afraid?
and we've talked about
That was bullshit.
Yeah, but we've talked about
Friendly
this.
fire.
Here's the
How
thing.
the fuck is it friendly
Huh?
fire though? And this is the
Friendly
thing.
fire, but you had no reason to
But
shoot.
see, this is the
So
thing
you
though
had-
that got me though.
You had a
He
trigger
fired
happy
at, look, you know how cops always say that, they're fearing for their life and shit, right? So if he fired over there in the direction and he was standing over where the fucking cops was, how come they didn't just turn around and start firing on him?
Right.
Because shots are
But
being
here's what we-
fired, bro.
Here's what we've said though.
Hey, you just told me I was full of shit.
Police
I was
officers
full
are
of
just like soldiers.
You cold?
They suffer from
PTSD.
But again, you're the full.
I believe a lot of cops do
When
too.
I do
get
too.
it.
I think
So-
that's the problem.
That's why I said I feel like they need to
You can hear
rotate
the
shit.
stories that I
Right.
heard.
I think they need to rotate. I think cops need to spend like maybe a certain amount of time behind the desk. and
Green
be in the
matter
field.
dropping
Yeah.
off
Turn
feelings.
your shirt, put this
And
on.
I mean,
Is
look, I
hanging
picked up
from
trash.
Dogs eat their
Look,
owners.
I picked up trash in Boston
You
when
couldn't
the whole
imagine.
Ferguson
Imagine
riots were
getting
going
eaten by your own dog.
on. Okay, I'm picking up trash. I
Okay.
got my
They see-
headphones
they see
in.
that shit.
I want to get into a discussion about pit bulls now, but I'm not going to.
The kid comes up to me. I told you that story.
Yeah.
Kid comes up to
People
me. He's
hate
like,
my dog.
he looks at me. He's like,
I have pits.
I have my headphones
Yeah.
on and I'm singing, and he goes, "Hey,
Your
white
dog's
boy,
hate
you in the wrong neighborhood." I pull my headphone out. I go, "Excuse me, did you say something, sir?" He's like, "Man, you in the wrong neighborhood, dude. I'll make you disappear." And I look around, and I see his buddies up on the porch laughing their asses off.
They dumbasses probably told him to say it.
No, because I'd see them all the time. This is a kid just
So
trying
you
to be a
know.
little hard ass, just trying to be a little gangster. Wanting to, they're we're gonna fuck with this
Yeah,
dude.
yeah, everybody against it till it's
Well,
time
what
to
do
draw
you
some
do?
blood.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
No, here's what I did. I go, what did you say to me? He goes, I said, "You're in the wrong neighborhood, motherfucker. I'll make your ass disappear." So
You should have smacked the shit out
here's
of
what
him.
I told you what I did.
You're not
Lean
exactly
backwards.
small.
Here's
so
what I did. Remember, I grabbed
You're
the
gonna
toter.
drag
I
me
grabbed the one. Oh, I grabbed the toter, the 96-gallon toter. I grabbed it with one arm and flung it. He dumped it like this. It set it back down and ran my blade. And I looked at him and I said, "Kid," I said, "I think you're talking to the wrong motherfucker because I got a 25-yard fucking trash truck right here. Who do you think's gonna fucking disappear?" And I walked around him, got in my truck, I pull up. He comes pulling up the street. His buddies are laughing their ass. Laughing.
Because that's some dumb shit.
I pull and I go up. He comes walking up. He reaches. He starts to go like this. I go, "Listen, kid." I go, "If that's what it is in your waistband, I
You
said,
better
I will
use
charge
that
you." And I said, "I will throw you in this fucking truck and I will kill you right here and now." He stood. His buddies were like, "Man, leave the trash man alone. That dude's in here every week. He ain't fucking bothering nobody." His kid turned around and walked away. And that's
But
the
it
problem.
goes back to some of what you were talking about earlier. It's like,
It's respect.
why would somebody clutch their purse? Because some of them have been treated and made to think you need to think hard because you want to be able to survive on the street or whatever.
Look,
I
I
don't know
saw
anything-
this guy walking down the
I don't know. I don't know
Yeah,
anything.
but
I don't know anything about
No,
that.
no, you don't.
I don't know anything
having
about that.
survival skills is one thing.
But I
because
know
we
that
all
I see
have
it
that,
and hear
but
it and listen to
not
it.
exude
It's the
them
only
in a
way I know.
way that is.
Let me ask you this.
But that's the only way I
Look,
know.
because
That's
Dirty is a testament to this, and he'll understand. He'll see what I'm saying. Dirty, remember, like, okay, we can talk about all the different examples of crime, all this other stuff that goes on,
Because it all happens.
But this is the thing.
I got to pee. Hurry up.
If I went out here and went on a killing spree, robbed banks, raped and robbed women, did all that other shit,
I could do that.
my face would be all over social media and the news.
Yep.
For a person that looks like you or that looks like Dirty, 9 times out of 10, that shit won't happen.
Yep.
It won't. Now think about it. Think about it. Because hold on, wait. Hear me out. 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 Hear me out.
Three is over.
Hear me out.
Three is over 3.
Hear me out. Because look, this is the thing. The only time you will ever really see a white guy on the news, and I'm not just basing it off the color, but it is what it is either if he's stolen a tremendous amount of money from a lot of other white people,
From a lot.
or he's a sex offender.
Yep, and he molested a child.
Outside of that, you won't hear shit. You'll say, "Oh, such and such subject,
a white guy stealing a car.
such and such subject,
every day.
such and such subject did such and such and such and such today, and it was a such and such amount of victims, and this happened, but they never show his face." But the minute that there's a robbery, a shootout in a black neighborhood, they got his name. They know what he looks like. They know the vehicle. All this shit. They got all that shit up already.
I know that.
And see, that's
not what I'm talking
but see,
about.
no. That goes into the narrative of what you're saying about when people are clutching their purse.
Right.
It's the perception of how we're portrayed on television. Every time.
But don't.
This is
But
the
no,
thing.
here's
The reason why I say this.
Ready? Here's why. Here's why.
We're at the penalty box.
We're at the penalty box. Home of the Yellow Bats. We broadcast live every Monday.
Yellow Bats
On
with the Z.
YouTube. Yellow Bats with a Z. Sitting across from my Padre in crime.
Jamie.
Sitting across from us, a Sea Biscuit.
C Club.
But no, do you want to know why? Here's why. And I've said it, and you can go turn it
Seafoam.
right now.
You can cut on the
TV and
news
see
right
it.
now and see this shit.
And see it. It's because the media doesn't want the people together. So they are going to demonize all of them minorities, not just the blacks.
Because if
But-
everybody got along.
Exactly, because
There
it
would be no
would
news.
destroy human society if we all got along, and that's why.
I don't think
That's-
it's destroyed.
I don't think it's destroyed. I think it'll make
it
it-
got money.
Well, no,
Yeah.
they would
Society.
think it would destroy it,
So
so that's why.
And this is a question that I had for you.
I thought it was me, man.
Well, maybe both of you.
So,
Here's my question then. So if the whole Black Lives Matter campaign came out, right?
But see,
that started. No, the
Hold on.
back of the whole Mike Brown thing came out, right?
There you
So-
go. Okay.
By the way, I had something to
That
say
all
about
came
that
out.
in a second.
They just won $1.5 million
Good
That was
video.
some bullshit.
in a
Yeah, it
wrongful
was.
death lawsuit,
That was
but
some
it
bullshit.
wasn't wrongful
what's the
death
line for it? No.
because
My life
there's
not worth a
things
million
that you guys
dollars.
didn't
More
get
than
to
that.
see that I've gotten to see. So I will simply say that, and I will leave it at that, and say that wasn't all what the public saw. Was not all that went
Well, we
down.
talked
Yeah,
about
we
this.
know that.
We talked about this.
So
That was some in-house
that's
shit.
not a wrong. It's not necessarily a wrongful death
In what way?
because when you go and draw an officer's weapon,
Wait a minute.
point
Wait a
the
minute. Hold on.
weapon
Wait.
at the
Time
officer.
out. Where's the proof of that? Nobody ever seen video or nothing
Nobody
of
saw
that.
video of it.
No.
but
Because look, hear me out. When you say
there
this,
are other people that have been secret witnesses
okay,
to the
and I'm
accident.
glad you brought that up.
Where are
'Cause
they
now
at now?
we're gonna go
They-
into this.
They are secret
Hold on, no, stop it,
because
stop it right here.
What we
He's
get
like,
ready to end.
he's like, oh, this
I'm gonna
guy.
tell you why.
they fear retaliation.
Right. I'm gonna tell you why.
So there's a reason
I believe that
I
the
believe
fear of
that.
retaliation
they
shit.
saw that.
But as far as like the whole grabbing the gun and all that, nobody
Reached
ever.
inside the
But see, that's the
car,
thing though. Nobody ever fucking saw that.
But other people did.
See, this is the thing though. You're saying
But
other
it doesn't
people
matter.
did.
That would
Except
be
for
But
the
now it
gun
doesn't.
shot.
See, this is the thing though. You
It
can't
doesn't
say
matter. They
no.
still got
You
taken care
can't
of.
say
They still
you.
got taken
But hold
care
on.
of.
This is the thing though. You can't say that people saw him do it, and then in the same sentence say that it doesn't matter because he got $1 million.
Well,
That's
they got $1
bullshit.
million.
Like, hold on, wait. Hear me out. Because look, it's a fucked up narrative. And I'll answer your question, but it's a fucked up narrative. And I'm gonna let you, and then I'm done, and then I'm absolutely done. The thing about it is we recently learned after all the rest of the shit came out, with all the shit they were refusing to let out, that one, I'll openly admit, he was selling weed. We know he was selling
He
weed.
robbed a fucking gas
Let
station.
me finish, because this is where I'm going to it. The people that own the gas station, not the gas station, the store, the older men, his sons were selling weed out of the store. He sold them weed. They had a deal going on with Rellos and all this other shit because he was selling Rellos to make money too. But he couldn't take it with him because he didn't want to get caught with it. He decided to come back the next day. The two gentlemen that he made the deal with wasn't there, but their father was there. Yep. He reached for his bag. When he reached for his bag, that's when you see the older gentleman come around the counter and pursue him out of the store. Once they're on the street, yes, I believe the officer might have asked him to get out of the street. Hell, I'm even open enough to say that they probably talk shit to him because a lot of people I know talk shit to cops because cops talk to you like they're dicks. Point being, that I'm not saying all of them, but a lot of them flex their muscle because they fucking can. After that,
is it against the law?
It's not, but it's respect though. Who gives
against the law to walk down the middle of the street?
All right.
But this is the thing though.
How many
you have people who've recorded it. You had people who stood in the street who were eyewitnesses, like you said. That's just like the two white gentlemen who were electricians, who stood in the middle of the street and seen the exact thing and asked to be a witness, asked to make a statement, and they wasn't allowed to talk to them. All the people that had cell phones, all of a sudden their cell phones were confiscated, disappeared, and they were called whatever witnesses. They were making up their shit.
Here's and I'm not even trying to bring up the Mike Brown
no,
thing.
because
Here's my question though.
Speaking of that, WB just got the right to suicide.
So here's my question. So when all that came out, that was when the whole Black Lives Matter come out.
No, the Black Lives Matter was going on before that.
No, that didn't kick. That really didn't kick off
until and then the Ferguson riots.
It had been around for a while.
So here's my question for you: if Black Lives matter, and Black lives are supposed to matter to you, to another Black, to you and another Black, why is it 95% Blacks killing 95% Blacks?
Just like it's 95% of white people killing 95% of white people. You don't
actually
see, but see, this is the thing though. This is
you don't see,
and that's what I'm saying. But see, that's what I'm saying though. Only the news that goes back to what we were saying with the news. You only have the news talking about black on black crime. You don't hear about white on white crime, yellow on yellow crime.
Black guy, you'll hear about it all over the news.
But see, this is the thing though.
Black cop shoots a white guy.
You won't hear about that shit.
Right? You know why? You know why?
But see, this is the thing though. If it really did happen,
also more white people
really did happen,
all the things that everyone's talking about right now can be changed by thought and a belief system. So if you got 200,000 people in St. Louis that believe 200,000 different things, no one will ever know the truth. No, everybody will have an opinion.
It's like
everybody will make an opinion. And there's nothing. So the truth of what happened that day, you tell me what happened that day. Exactly what happened.
And here's what I'll say.
Nobody can. Nobody can.
So 200,000.
Right. I didn't see everything. Right. But see, this is the thing though. This is the thing though. This is the thing though.
You ready for me to end this?
Man, go ahead, man. Do your thing. No. Go ahead. Do your thing.
What we can do, but what we can do
do you think?
It's not really an argument.
No. Go ahead.
We can stop.
No. Here's the thing. So we talk about the whole Michael Brown thing, right? But why don't we?
Sorry, you gotta trademark them now.
Right. Why do we not talk? Why do we not talk about that 9-year-old little girl who was shot in her house through all of that going on, doing her homework? That little 9-year-old innocent child
who died.
And I personally know the police officer that was holding the white police officer that was holding that little 9-year-old black girl. How was the media? But how often did we see that?
Oh, he did.
We saw it once. We saw it once. Why?
Because that's only the shit that they wanted to show, man. It wasn't important.
And that's the problem. That's the problem. It's because the media wants to keep America
separate.
P-break. Because the media wants to keep America separate. And that's all it is to it. Plain and simple.
Because it's all a conspiracy theory to pit us against them. But there is no us against them. They're no different than we are.
Nobody's any different. You cut anybody open, we'll call
I'm no different than you. I'm no different than you. I'm no different than you. And I'm no different than myself.
And we all come from the same place.
I'm different from a Jew.
We all come from Africa.
We all stem from monkeys. It's all good.
I say a whale.
If you believe in evolution.
I say a whale. A whale's body's 75% water. They have the same bone structure as a human.
So does a chick.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying.
I mean,
A chicken has arms.
I'm
They
gonna
should
get
be
off
like
the
wings.
subject so that we don't even have to talk about it.
We haven't argued about
Which one?
it.
What
That's the
subject?
problem.
No, not arguing.
No, in philosophy,
subject?
an all-time argument is the
So-
most wonderful thing that we've ever been given.
I
to
was a
each other.
philosophy major in college.
Yeah. How do you not
Here-
argue? Do
here's
you
my
argue in
next-
philosophy?
Have we
You
argued,
argue
though?
all
I argue
No,
every day.
You argue
See?
everything. If you
no,
don't argue shit, then
It's just
fucking
a debate.
nothing gets done.
Technically,
But here's the
every
thing,
conversation
You know what?
is an
No,
argument.
it's not. It's
When
not
you
even a debate. It's a respect for other people's
Yeah, and when you
opinions
think of an
and
argument,
opening your mind
what do
to-
you think of? You think of people screaming and yelling at each other.
Yes, absolutely.
And nobody is screaming and yelling
My
at each
best
other.
friend's an English
So
major.
my next
But
question.
literature. Yeah. I didn't go.
He was
to,
English
trails.
philosophy.
Oh my
And,
God. Are you one of
he's in
those
my dream
fools?
program.
Yes,
He's so is he.
I am totally.
So that was my first year.
The chemtrails?
Yes. I am a complete
Ever
believer in
learning this
chemtrails are
Everywhere,
polluting.
you never stop.
It's like exuding cancer into the air so that we all breathe it in.
Well, I believe that we live in St. Louis and that we're home to 250 tons
Hey,
of
hey, we got another
radioactive
chemtrail.
waste.
We got another chemtrail person like you.
Now-
Hey, that
now
shit
my
real,
descendants
See?
probably start
See?
going around it.
Hey, you ain't never seen
I'm from
that
North
shit?
County,
See?
so I'm gonna
Yeah,
no
you
matter
get
what
it going.
happens.
No,
I
wait,
had to get it going.
wait, look at that shit.
You had to get it going
Look,
on
this
the
don't matter, man.
chemtrails.
Man, fuck you, man.
And
Look, this the thing.
Everything is
Look, this is the
population
thing.
control.
This lady, I'm assuming y'all nurses and shit. Y'all do all this other shit.
We do some
Man,
things-
look, real
interesting
shit.
things.
You
Are you
can
guys
look that
welcome?
shit up, bro. Whenever them shits
I-
go over people's neighborhoods, man, people start tripping. You start having rises in crime and violent acts and shit.
You've had this conversation with my wife.
I have.
Yeah. At Mardi Gras.
You were straight.
Yeah, you know what he doesn't remember?
Went drunk.
It's Mardi Gras.
I strongly
Like,
believe that the toxins that you breathe in.
I remember Mardi Gras. That's what I
Like,
started talking
bro,
about girls.
you ain't never tripped off about how the fuck do those things stay in the sky that fucking long, bro? That's not, it just sits there. Like, you seen exhaust fumes
When
come out of shit.
condensation's up
You
that
seen
high,
jet-
it has to stay up there.
Bullshit. Bullshit. Because you see jets fly up high all the time. And they leave their little smoke trails and then they fucking disappear. Those stay up there, bro. They stay up there.
It's called O3.
That's right.
Which is ozone.
Fuck out of here, bro. My thing is, how does it happen sometimes and then it doesn't happen the other
She
time?
goes, I
Chemical
got another
composition,
conspiracy.
bro.
It always
happens.
happens.
She goes,
It
I got
never
another
stops
conspiracy.
happening.
She goes,
It's happening right
she
now.
goes, chemtrails. I go, oh, just wait till he comes back.
That's
his
bullshit.
thing.
That's like saying
Chemical
your cells
composition.
right now,
That's how it
your body
happens.
ain't proliferating. Everything always keeps going and never stops. Nothing ever stops. It
I'm not
always
denying that chemtrails poison
penetrates.
people, but
It fucking deflects.
Oh my
everything.
God.
I'm also not
Moving,
accepting
moving,
it.
and moving. It'll never quit. Nothing will quit. Your thoughts.
I think it's the government's way of poisoning everybody. So I think that we have.
Fluoride?
I think we have.
we
a
could
cure
totally
for
do
cancer.
175 right now if
We
they
have
get
a cure for
chemtrails.
What about fluoride?
I think we have a cure for every cancer.
Oh,
I
God,
believe
yeah,
that
I
I
think we
believe
have a
that.
cure for AIDS. I
It's
think we have
called
a
Don't
cure
Worry
for
About
I have a
It.
cure for
leukemia.
bladder
Hold on,
cancer.
hold on. You talking
I
about
believe
AIDS?
we had a cure for that when
Listen.
Dr. Sebi
But
was
I will tell you right
It's
now,
called Don't Worry.
All I gotta say is this.
it's
92.
generalized population.
Listen,
You worry, you're like,
1992.
Pre-diagnosed.
Does anybody remember what happened in
I'm not a
1992?
meteorologist.
And so
No.
if you're not, but you might have that slight
Hold on.
genetic structure,
No.
we're gonna let you flip to that side.
Do you remember
so that
what
way
happened
you're
in
gonna
92?
drop off.
Magic Johnson came in and said
I
he
thought
had.
you thought about the
Yeah,
riots.
he did.
He has millions of fucking dollars.
Yeah,
to
motherfucker
pay.
ain't dead yet.
You know what,
Right.
man?
I feel like Magic
You know
Johnson
what?
doesn't have
I-
damage.
bro,
You know
I'm a
what I'm saying?
conspiracy
Do
theorist,
you
bro.
He ain't dead yet.
You know what? I never believed Magic Johnson had AIDS. I never do.
I was gonna say, I never believed in Michael
I
Jackson.
would
Real
hear
shit.
it.
Real shit. At
He
the
has millions and millions of dollars.
I
to pay
think
for
a
every
motherfucker-
treatment under the
I think
sun.
that was their way of squeezing him out of the NBA.
Do you know that?
Like real shit. I don't think he
If
had.
he
I don't
had
think
it,
he
or
had.
if I had it, do you think we would have
No, you guys
access
would
to the
lose your.
drugs that he has access to?
What about the people
Probably
who can't
not.
never
No, you guys
But
would lose your
No.
jobs too.
But the
wouldn't you?
thing about it is though, the person
wouldn't?
that he was, the shit that Magic Johnson was
Or, you
doing
know,
at the
400
time,
patients.
I really feel like that was the NBA's way of
Yep,
squeezing him the fuck out.
That was
Like they
that
couldn't
was-
think
that
of
was
another way to
Jordan's
get him
way.
outside
Sharing
of basically
fluids,
fucking
they-
killing him.
But
That's
what,
the
lying about it?
hey,
Yeah.
real shit.
Think about it. You
See, look,
you
it's
put that in
crazy.
people's-
It's crazy that I can say this, but like I said, I don't try to harp on color shit, but shit happens to
What?
black people. Look, see,
But
look,
he
what?
would have been good for
But
another
guess
10
what'll never
fucking
stop?
years.
But see, this is the
what'll
thing.
never
though.
stop?
You know what?
It won't
Why
stop,
would
ever
you want
stop.
him out?
We'll
You
never
wouldn't
stop
want him
being
out.
different colors.
Look, that's
You know
true.
what it
Look,
did stop,
that's
though?
true. Because look, I don't want you to think. See, look, I don't want you to think that that's solely what I'm
I'm
harping
crazy
on.
in my head like it was
I'm gonna be
school.
honest.
And that's true. I don't want
Right.
you to think that I'm solely harping on. But look, because this
You
is
know
the
what
first
hip
time.
did
Because I'm
stop?
gonna be honest with
What?
you.
Queen.
I had a
Yes,
good
it
time.
did.
Had a good time enjoying this shit. But my mind is running because I've never been in a circle full of this many white people. They call
But we
niggas.
influenced.
Called you.
I didn't say niggas. People call me.
Nobody said
Look, I bring that up because we've had this conversation. What did I tell you about the nigga contract?
Well, yeah, that's
The
true.
nigga contract.
That's
It's
true.
real.
My feelings.
What is the contract?
You're not feeling it, and I
No, no,
understand.
let me explain.
You know why you don't
explain
feel no type of way about it? Because the shit's real, bro. You only feel real things. Only real things bother you, bro. Look.
I'm bothered right now.
And that's what I'm saying. Look, that's what goes back to. It goes back earlier to what I said. Name a black person in the world of existence right now, outside of basketball, football, baseball, a singer, or an actor.
Wait a second.
Real
Black
shit.
people in baseball?
Yeah, bro.
Who?
Barry Bonds.
Barry Bonds ain't baseball anymore.
I'm just saying, bro. I'm just
Or an actor that was.
Yeah,
Come
the thing about it is though,
He's still black.
Actor.
the thing about it is, actors, all
Derek
that.
Jeter?
That's famous.
Okay, you got me.
The thing is, the reason why I bring that up when I say nigga contract is, and look, I know you don't like it, but see, you're gonna learn today. You're gonna learn today. See what it is.
What we should do is we should get
Hey,
Strawberry on the
Ryan?
show.
I'm down. I'm down.
He lives right here.
I'm down.
He lives right here. He lives here.
That's what's
Come
up.
on, give
No,
me
the
that.
reason why I say
Yeah.
that is whatever entertainment platform it is, that's all we ever get is an entertainment platform. But look,
my
with
friend
those,
Larry
hold on,
Moses
wait a minute. With that entertainment platform, there are certain rules and things that are set upon us that are not set upon everybody else. It's a lot of shit that we do that's not acceptable. Like when you getting your money and you're getting your checks and you're signing all these endorsements and shit like that. I'm not saying that people don't get up and move out of their neighborhood. Some people go back and do certain things,
Yeah,
and
what
some
happened
people
to
think.
Chingy?
Hey,
But see, this is
you
the
couldn't
thing,
pull
though.
50 back.
A lot of them aren't allowed. They aren't allowed to do those things. They don't have that money. All those things that they sit up here and portray to the world and do all these other things, they're not allowed to do that. They're not allowed to associate with certain people. A lot of them are not even allowed to go back into their communities and give that money back because it doesn't belong to them. It's a part of that contract. That's why you see a lot of you see a lot of athletes. Think about it. Actors, athletes, black guys. Once they get into entertainment and they start moving up, you hear a lot of black women in the community say, "Oh well, once he got his money, he left me for a white woman." But what it is our lady isn't truly accepted, not unless she looks like what they want her to look like. A Barbie doll.
Man, have you seen?
No, but think about this though. Just think about this. A lot of black women. You see, a lot of black women. When you see, look, the strongest black woman you will probably see in the world in modern times, right? Not even fucking Oprah.
No.
Serena Williams, bro.
Yes,
Serena Williams. She's the strongest and probably the
hot.
darkest woman you will
She
see
is
on
so
television, next to an Oprah Winfrey.
Ooh, Serena.
They're not allowed to be around dark-skinned women. If you ever look, you can look up any black person in entertainment. Look up any black person. Look up any black person in the last 10, 15 years. In the last 10, 15 years that's been in entertainment.
Halle Berry.
They go through the changes that they go through. Their skin gets lighter. Their hair gets straighter.
What about Mel B?
A lot of them blonde.
Yeah. What about Mel B? Have you seen her? She's damn good looking.
She damn good
And
looking.
I want to see her
guy,
video. I want to see her video.
I
How
guess.
prolific is she?
What do you mean? What do you mean?
But
Oh my God.
she's not
Spice Girls,
relevant though.
bro. Come on.
No,
Look, don't get me wrong. The Spice Girls were big in '97, bro.
she's
But
huge.
Spice Girls are big now, bro.
Look,
You want to talk about Wu-Tang?
look, that's on America's Got Talent, bro. But I don't give a fuck what you say. Like
What,
nobody's checking for a Spice B
Educate
album.
Let me tell you something.
Nobody's checking for a Spice Girl or a Mel B
Look,
album.
Zoe Saldana.
The reason why,
Yeah.
right? So the reason why I bring these
Did you hear
things
that one?
up,
Did you hear that one?
Zoe Saldana.
Yeah.
that's the same thing, though.
I need
Reverse. Look,
Hey,
it's
I
this.
would put
The real shit. Hold on, think about this though, bro. Motherfuckers will think that I'm on some bullshit. How many black female actresses do you know that are dating white guys right now? Most of them, bro.
He's not.
Zoe's not.
Fuck not. She's not. She is, bro.
She is?
Yes.
Yeah.
Same thing, vice versa. Fucking Tiger Woods, O.J. Simpson. It goes down the fucking line, bro.
O.J. Simpson killed his black.
And, I think the fucker had help, but that's on another story.
Somebody would have.
Don't get him started on that one.
I'm just saying that's not to
Educate-
be
educate
derogatory,
me, give me something
but
to lead
it's a
with.
sense of
Give me
control, bro.
something to lead
It's
with.
just like when you have Tiger Woods and all that other shit. When that shit blew up with him, why do you think they were more upset with Tiger Woods? The fact that he got caught with all these other different women, or he was a powerful black man in a powerful position, doing some shit.
Look,
I think it was more the
there's
people.
no bees, man.
He's dark.
Yeah.
He's not dark, bro.
Alright.
He's not, bro. I mean, that's cool. I mean,
Leave
if
me
you
with
but
something
see,
else.
look. That's a modern day thing. That's like what I told you about the taboos and how
Who is
shit
it?
wasn't acceptable.
Who is it?
How taboo
He used-
it was for black and white people
Say he
today,
used to have
right?
dreadlocks.
It was a fucked up thing,
No, that
right?
was the Huntington
Now
Club.
it's an in thing,
Really?
like it's fucking cool. Like you add, look, I'm not gonna really harp on this, but if you ask some people, they'll say, hey,
You're talking
well,
this guy.
maybe they're allowing this shit to happen
You're
now
talking-
because to a certain degree, you know, the white
He was like
population is at a
Yeah.
decreased birth rate.
This is her new one.
Some people will say that.
He's
I don't
English.
fucking know.
Right.
But
So
to me,
does it matter who my first girlfriend was?
no. And see, that's the
Was she
thing, though.
white or
This is the
black?
thing, though.
Does it
I
matter?
don't think
mean,
it
does it
matters
matter
at
my high
all.
school girlfriend
See,
was
look, this
white
is
or
the
black?
thing, though. I don't think it
My
matters
school,
at
my
all
first
because
girlfriend
love is love, bro.
I mean, I'm half Native American,
Love is
so
love,
people
and a
see me
relationship
white,
is a
so
relationship.
whatever.
But it's about the control of that image of that said relationship.
I can tell.
You will never see a stronger black person on television
It's
outside
predominant.
of possibly a Barack Obama when he was what he was, and fucking Bill
Southern
Cosby.
Italian?
And think about this. They ran Bill Cosby through the fucking
Southern
mud.
Italian.
But think about how many people he actually saved and he actually
Southern
helped.
Italian.
Bill Cosby is only
More
one.
people than anybody else.
More
Those
people
are
than you can
Southern
fucking think
Italian.
of. Hold
More
on, think
people
about
than I
this.
did.
Fucking Michael Jackson, bro.
Dude, we've already
Michael
had that
Jackson has
conversation.
donated hundreds of millions of dollars, and they vilified him because he was
I've
different.
actually
That's what the
Cosby
fuck
more-
happens,
Hold on,
bro.
they vilified him because he fucked those little boys.
No, he didn't, bro.
He was never proven.
No, this is the thing, though, and this is real shit. Then explain all the children that came afterwards, before he died and after
I got
he
wrong.
died, that came out and confessed and said, "My parents had me do this shit."
So I agree with that
I
too.
said-
The guy that
So look,
changed his
that's the
face
wrong
because he
kind
was
of
getting
thing.
harassed because he thought he was gonna get
Did you
killed.
see this?
North or south?
What's that? Pro
It's my
Candy
shoe.
We got
I bought it
this
off
one.
the Wish.
It does.
What's this? That's that lady shoe site.
I don't even got
There's
ladies.
actually
buying
other
lady
pictures.
shoes?
Shut up, man. Yeah, I'm wearing ladies.
Ain't nothing wrong, ladies.
I ain't say nothing wrong with her lady. But
No, because you know how Bill Cosby always
Northern
preached.
has
I
more
love the.
But you know the connotation of what I just said. Ain't nothing wrong,
Because
ladies.
no.
We can
He
put
goes,
labels on
no,
all
I
kinds of
love how
Right.
Bill Cosby
Most
always
invaded
talks,
countries
authors. I love the
Well,
King's
everybody's
English,
fucking
right?
right.
Did you hear his
Well, when you
spokesperson
hear
read his
something
statement?
about
No.
They're
Go
from
look at
Korea. But
they
a lot of their
chopped
genetics
up
come from
the-
other
the-
Asian countries
It's
as well.
so bad it wasn't
Okay,
even
so it's a
funny.
mixture.
Wow.
And Bill Cosby, you know he did this.
We
Right.
in the middle
See,
ground.
all right. So look, the only reason I bring that up is because
So
when it
they
comes to
invade China,
us,
they go through
we get locked in boxes to where we can be monitored and controlled, man. Even if it's a person like Bill Cosby, like to me, I think it's suspect when he originally tried to open up a television station. All of a sudden his son got killed and he wasn't able to do that. They said it was a robbery and he got murdered, but nothing was ever stolen from him.
It's like when Michael.
Now you move forward, all of a sudden he's trying to open up another television station because he says he wants to put an educational station for black people because there's never been one. Nothing that can show us
Why
in the
hasn't
past
there been?
because the media won't
Because the
allow
media
it to
won't
be.
allow it.
Why?
Because black people, look, I'm gonna tell you,
What black people don't what?
little black people don't own any television
not?
stations
They will.
because we not
They will.
allowed
It
to.
goes
No,
back
no,
to
no,
this.
tell me how.
Really? It's gonna because time goes by.
Time does go by, but look, you think about this.
And nobody gets denied anything that they try hard for and believe
So
in.
tell me this: Are you aware of who Suge Knight is?
I know exactly. Who
Okay, do you know who Jazz Prince is?
Yeah,
Jay
I know-
Prince is.
yeah, I know
You
who
know
that
who Herb Gotti is.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you know who Dame Dash is.
No, I don't know who that is.
Okay, Dame Dash was one of the creators of Rockefeller Records, who was a partner with Jay-Z.
Go ahead.
All four of these gentlemen came together and were going to start their own distribution and
It's a start.
publishing company. Do you know what happened to them?
No, I have no idea.
All of their offices got raided. They all got indicted, and the shit was shut down.
Right. So what do you think is gonna happen next time then?
Same shit,
How do you know?
because it happens.
Why?
Have you ever heard of
Because
Black
they-
Wall Street?
You gotta believe in it though more.
But see, you can believe in it. See,
I
look, look,
believe
look.
in it
See,
for
look,
you.
look.
I
But
believe
see,
in it
think
for me.
about this.
believe
I
it
can
for you.
believe all I want to.
But belief.
Belief
Belief.
is a motherfucker, and I can do whatever I want to with a belief, but a belief has nothing to do with
It's gonna
opposition.
happen.
Has nothing to
It's
do
gonna
with
happen.
opposition.
It's happening.
It's so political
It's happening in other countries, so it's gonna happen.
I'm not being political.
We're babies. It's gonna happen.
I never said anything about Trump
You
or
live in a
Hillary.
baby
I don't
country.
get that.
Wait, did
gonna
that election
fucking
happen yet?
Hey, what are those three things?
And maybe people won't accept it. when it does happen, but it will happen, and I guarantee you,
If
in
it
our
ever does
lifetime,
happen, in our
Race.
lifetime, in my lifetime,
it will happen in your lifetime. Is it?
I don't see it.
What are you, 30?
I'm 30. I don't see it because
It's gonna
people talk.
happen. You're gonna
People
be
talk
90
about
years
Oprah
old.
Winfrey all the fucking time, and Oprah Winfrey doesn't own her fucking name or none of her money, bro. She
Guess
don't.
what's gonna happen? Though?
Nope.
What's
it's
gonna
just
happen?
Sigmund. Sigmund
It's
owns
gonna
all of
happen.
it.
You know why? Because
Or
you're gonna give up.
Stigler or whatever. his
I'm
name
not
is.
gonna give up. But see, this
Nobody's
is the
gonna
thing.
give. That's the thing.
Nobody's
You
gonna
ain't.
give up. See, this is the thing, though. I'm not saying
Stifler,
I will
yeah.
never give up.
I know.
I'm not saying that you are or you aren't anybody, but what I'm saying is regardless of how you try to put hope and faith into this, I'm gonna try and I'm gonna try and I'm gonna try.
Hey, do you know what I'm excited to see?
Eventually, when I meet this
Wonder Woman?
opposition,
No.
something's gonna happen, and it's gonna fuck around and probably be
Horrible.
forceful. Because there's
Horrible.
only so many times
Horrible.
you can destroy my shit.
Right.
There's only so many
Good.
times you can
Then
steal my shit.
That's the point in which
I'll
all
talk about
society
that.
has ever changed.
But see, the thing about this though, think about
That's
this though.
fine.
You
See,
just said that's the point of when society changes.
It
But
has to change.
I've gone on this perspective and I've said it before. If I change and say, you know what, I'm tired of all this shit, motherfuckers blocking us and all this. Next person that decides they want to block us, we're gonna go hard at them. In any form, any means,
You know who
any
you're going
fashion.
hard at? You ain't going hard at us.
But see, it's
You're going
not.
hard at some other
But
folks.
see, that's just
You
true.
go at
I'm not saying that it's you.
You
I don't
ain't
want
gonna
you
be
to
by
take it.
yourself.
I don't want you
You
to
ain't
take
gonna
it
be
as
by
you.
yourself.
I never thought I was gonna be by
Right.
myself.
Ever.
But this is the thing though. Even if you riding with me, even if you see it with me, it don't affect you like it affect me. Record-
Yeah, I know that.
All right, so if you know
That's
that,
just time too.
but
That's true.
even with
That's-
time though, how much time do I need? How much time do I
a
need?
lot forever.
There is no such thing as forever, bro, because we don't live forever. That's what I'm saying. So how much time do
You
you
need to
need?
pass that same spirit on,
Hold on.
otherwise it won't.
So here's the thing.
So what you was gonna say?
Don't
about
ever
Ghostbusters
give up.
shit?
Do you know what I can't wait to see? No. Black Panther.
That's gonna be live, man.
It is. It's gonna be good.
Man.
I can't wait.
Yeah.
And you
But
know
hey,
the
real
time
shit though,
doesn't
bro. I don't want
exist.
you to think it's no hard feelings. It's all love, bro. I'm
We've had
enjoying
these
this shit.
conversations.
Like real
We've
shit,
had
I just
conversations.
appreciate you chopping the shit up with me. Like real talk. Like,
Look, it's
I'm
9.
blessed
It's
and
almost
I believe
10 o'clock.
all right, man. Well, we need to be wrapping up, man.
It's
Yeah.
almost. I just like think that's I'm like.
Yeah, man. We've been jamming.
Jesus
But
Christ, we've
seriously,
been
though,
going.
I will flex on every belief that I have. Because
Please
if
do.
I don't,
Please do.
if I don't, then they don't exist.
They don't mean nothing, man. Please do. Don't. I say that all the time.
Please do the same.
Speak your truth, man. Don't never let nobody
He
stop you.
does. I get him. I get like we sit here and do this all every Monday.
Yeah, man.
Well, you're fortunate.
I appreciate you joining us, man. I really do, bro.
And he preaches it all the time.
Having it in the right place, right time.
Huh? I'm bought into it. I'm bought into it. Am I not?
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Huh?
So, yeah, I guess. Sure.
We started preaching though.
And look, that's the thing, though.
You have to.
And see, look,
Go
and see, that's the
nothing
thing.
change.
I completely fucking agree with you. I completely agree with you, man. The hardest part of that whole thing is getting people. Whoa, shit. It's getting people to. No. I just, people sneak up on me. I'm not used to people sneaking up on me. The thing is, though, I can show love. You know what I'm saying? Barilla all day. Barilla all day. Yeah, man. Soft like a teddy bear, beach ass like a gorilla all day. But the thing is, though, man, the biggest struggle.
You know what? I take offense to that.
What?
I take offense to that.
What?
That is very derogatory.
What colorly like a teddy bear, but I beat your ass like a
That
gorilla?
is very derogatory towards you.
How?
I take offense to that.
Towards me?
Calling yourself a gorilla.
Hey, man, I ain't got no issue with it.
Well, I'm a gorilla. What's wrong with that?
I take offense to that.
Wow, you
I'm a
sound like
gorilla.
you want me to take offense to
I'm a
it.
gorilla.
I'm not
I'm
offended.
a wolf. But I'm a wolf. I'm a hyena.
He knew exactly where I was going.
I
When it came up with it, even when it came up with it, he knew exactly where I was going.
Oh, shit, man.
All right, I'm dirty. Sitting next to me is my boy, partner in
Jamie,
crime,
man.
the one, the only Bearilla.
Hey, man, tonight was a good show, man. I
Oh, we
enjoyed
done?
this, man. I appreciate y'all being here with us. Like, I love it.
It's 10
Yeah,
o'clock.
we been going at this.
I
for a
could stay
minute.
up forever. I mean, I like to be at work at 7.
Look, some of us,
Got
some of
jobs.
us, I will explain why we're
I gotta
done.
be up at 5:30.
Listen, I will explain why we're done
Nice.
in a minute.
Earlier than I'll wake
Sitting
up.
across from us,
C biscuit.
Seabiscuit.
C Club.
No, it's right here. Right here.
C Club is the sponsor. Hey, when we get the new shirts.
Yeah, right? Thank you.
I'm working on them.
Hey, look, you said that last time.
And look what else
No,
he's
like
wearing.
literally, like now I talk to him a lot more. If I go up
And
there
our
and listen.
special, listen, our special guest tonight, the Scrub Duo.
Scrub
Put the
dude.
camera on.
I can give him a quick.
Scrub Duo, there they are. was a very interesting show.
Yeah, man. Anybody want to get any shout outs to anybody?
Yeah, you guys want to give a shout out?
Plug anything?
Your Twitter accounts, anything like that.
Look at them.
Hey,
We
throw
don't
your
need-
plug.
We don't need to go on Friday.
C Club.
Hold on,
Our
let me get to the
website's
camera.
coming.
Let me get to your camera.
Put it in his face.
Oh my God, please don't. That's ugly. That is fucking
You guys just saw my unibrow.
We
like,
did.
all that.
All right,
It's
hurry
called-
up.
it's
So
called
I have a
Building the
website coming.
Bridge.
Follow us at cclubclothingco.com and we're on Twitter.
Yeah, hopefully we might come up one day and have Dirty Cortez shirts there.
I was gonna go to you.
They will. They'll be getting a new logo soon.
You're not on camera. I'm dirty.
Sitting next to me is my compadre and cry.
Why did you take his camera? Why did you take his camera?
That was good timing, though. That
Why
was
did you
fucking
take
good
his
timing,
camera?
though. He was like, no, we're still here. Hey, it's Damien, man. Hopefully, Seabiscuit will get our shirts on C Club one day.
Here we go.
We'll
We'll
be
go
You
back.
have a C Club shirt. You're just not wearing it.
We're gonna go back.
Mine's dirty today.
No, Dirty's wearing it.
And we are out.